family expectations to financial stress. Dr. Hale says he has a remedy that can help Black men lead their lives with purpose, faith, and discipline. Hey, I am honored to have with me today Dr. Ram Hale II.
Greetings, WVON family. It's your brother and friend, Bomani Obadeli of the Activist Hour. Join me on Saturday mornings as we discuss a holistic and public health approach to addressing community violence. We will also be discussing ways that we can create a safe, peaceful, economically thriving, and healthy communities. Join me Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. on WVON for the Activist Hour.
Hey, Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON. Hey, Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
The views expressed on our programs are not necessarily those of WVON, Midway Broadcasting Corporation, or our participating sponsors.
It's The Fundamentals with T-Dub and DJ Turbine on Chicago's Essential Storyteller, WVON.
Welcome to The Fundamentals. My name is DJ Turbine. Welcome everybody to another Friday night on the City of Chi. I hope everybody's doing good out there. I know the week's been kind of rough when it comes to the storms. If you're north side, the storms came and the Cubs are not doing anything better. For the south siders, hey, y'all having some fun out there, right? Let's clap it up because tonight y'all doing some good stuff. Cubs are gonna do action a little bit later, but we're doing little things different tonight. I think y'all know Chicago legend and a Chicago personality that means a lot to us. Former Bull and former, it just sounds weird saying former, but Stacey King, Chicago Bulls, Chicago legend. Just name Bulls, just Chicago legend, has unfortunately passed. And we do sports here. We do sports, and man, it's sports broadcasting, and it just seems that we need to actually address this for us. So during the week, T-Dub and I had a couple interviews with a couple personalities that have been on the show before, a couple friends of the program, and they were there and gave us their thoughts about Stacey, and it's been one of those weeks, guys. It's been an interesting week to say less, because I still have Stacey King's calls in my head when it comes to Bulls games and things of that nature. So hey, for this first hour, you're gonna have me and T-Dub talking to our guests throughout the week and talking about just in remembrance of Stacey King. So without further ado, I guess let's just get into it, guys. We'll be back on the other side to talk more about Chicago current sports, but for the first hour, this will be a tribute to Chicago legend and Chicago great, Stacey King.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And now, it's time!
Fundamentals.
These are the fundamentals.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, not to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, not to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life.
Fundamentals.
Welcome to The Fundamentals. I am your host, Titus T. Dell Williams, and with sadness, but a good amount of joy and reflection on life, right now we're going to be joined by the one and only Mr. Chuck Swirsky, play-by-play radio host of The Scores Bulls coverage. And today we come with sad news, but again, joyful news with the life and legacy and celebration of life of Stacey King. Chuck, thank you for joining the program. Welcome to The Fundamentals.
Well, my pleasure. Thank you. And I'm glad you mentioned celebration. Because, listen, we missed Stacey already. The moment we heard that he had passed, it's unbelievable. It stunned me. I'm in shock, to say the least. And my thoughts and prayers, and I mean this sincerely, go to his family, his 4 boys, the immediate family, those who love Stacey like we all do. But when we look at his life, he did so much in his 59 years on the planet that most people don't even get close to. And that's what I'm going to remember. I'm going to remember the joy and the spirit of Stacey King.
Couldn't have spoken any better myself. I know you had a close relationship with him, working, doing play-by-play and color commentary. Can you talk about some of the things that he brought as an analyst versus some of the things that he brought as a player?
Well, here's the thing. There are 30 NBA TV analysts. There are 30 NBA TV play-by-play announcers. There are 30 on radio, 30 on, for commentating and play-by-play. So we're looking at a pool of 120 men and women, right?
Right.
So what is Stacey all about? Stacey is about breaking down plays, breaking down players, looking at the volume of work during a game. And oh, by the way, he approaches the game with a foundation of enthusiasm, passion, humor, all rolled up in one. And that's very, very hard to do. Bill Wennington does that on the radio side, and I love it. But with Stacey, I mean, from the get-go, with his, nicknames and his ability to put the event front and center, especially during the Derrick Rose years, it was amazing.
I actually wasn't able to see too much 90s basketball. I was born in 93, so I did not get to see Stacey play as a player, but I knew him as a color commentator analyst back with Comcast Sportsnet. I remember seeing him doing the pre- and post-game shows, storming Norman Van Leer and Kendall Gill. And I was very familiar with your career. I followed your career when you came to Chicago and just been a huge fan of doing play-by-play. I think that's a very, very underrated talent that most people do not have that want to get into the business. And so that ability for Stacey King to just be able to, what you said a few years ago to me, was to create a story and to tell it passionately so that way the audience is always entertained. Can you try to connect some of the dots, especially for me being a millennial, and now we have the Gen X's and Gen Z's and such? Can you talk about what he brought as an analyst as far as being able to connect generations of Bulls fans?
100%. And again, I love your questions. Great job. So as you mentioned, and you're in that group that never really had a connection with Stacey King as a player. Well, I have, not only in college, but at the pro level. I first saw Stacey at Oklahoma. He was a very celebrated high school player, could have gone anywhere in the country. And I'm talking about anywhere. And it came down to Kansas and Oklahoma. In those years, in the 80s, it was the Big 8 conference, not the Big 12, but the Big 8. And so during that 4-year run, he replaced an iconic figure in Oklahoma basketball by the name of Wayman Tisdale, who is a great player, not a good player, a great player. And so Stacey comes in as a freshman and for a couple of years, blends in. And then his junior year has a monster season. He averages 26 and 10. They go to the NCAA championship game, and of all places, in Kansas City at Kemper Arena. I was there as Oklahoma had beaten Kansas twice in the regular season. They meet again in the NCAA title game, and this time Kansas wins by 4 as Danny Manning had an incredible, spectacular ball game of 31-17. Stacey had like a 17-7 game. But on that Oklahoma team, you had 3 starters that went to the NBA: Stacey King, Mookie Blaylock, Harvey Grant. He returns for his senior year, has another great year. Many people thought he was going to go number 1 in the country to Sacramento in the NBA draft. Purvis Ellison went number 1. Stacey goes number 6 to the Bulls, who had 2 first-round picks that year, because B.J. Armstrong from Iowa went 18. And so Stacey sets out and is a part of that reserve bunch that grew into, a three-peat. And then he gets traded for Luke Longley, bounces around a little bit, and goes into coaching in the CBA in Rockford. And he did a fantastic job. And I'm saying to
I apologize
myself,
for interrupting you, but that's something I did not know. I did not know he'd get into coaching.
yes, and he was very good. And I still maintain to this day, had he locked in on coaching the way he did broadcasting, he would have been an NBA coach. There's no question in my mind. But you know what? Our journeys and our paths are different. And he got into broadcasting. He liked it. And, you know, sometimes in life, it's just at the right point in the apex of someone's career. And he went into broadcasting, and the rest is history.
That is awesome. That's a great story. Like I said, I never knew he got into coaching, so that's new to me as well. And so just to hear that dynamic of him just, continuing to follow his path from God, it just seems totally amazing. And I definitely want to do my homework on his coaching tenure. I think that is so awesome. Let's go into a little bit more of his background as far as, like I said, with a little bit of his color commentary. We know that he started at Comcast Sportsnet as a pre- and post-game analyst. Can you talk about some of his passion as far as what he brought to the job, things of that nature before he actually got into the broadcast booth?
Well, one thing about Stacy, and I saw this when he was a player, when he first joined the Bulls in '89, is that Stacy, he never, ever, ever turned down an opportunity to meet, greet, socialize, and just be a person who you could connect with. I think that was one of his greatest strengths. And so right now, when we're talking, I can't believe I'm talking about Stacy in a past tense, because in my heart, he's still with me in his spirit.
Absolutely.
But he was able to be so available to all of us in the media when we would come in after a game. Because you have to understand, in those years, people were always going to MJ, and they were going to Pippen, and they were going to other players. And Stacy here is a young guy, and he was coming off the bench, and you could always go to Stacy's locker room stall and get that 20-second soundbite. It was actually a 20-minute soundbite. but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So when Stacy became an analyst for the Bulls, one of the best things to happen for Stacy King in broadcasting was Neil Funk becoming his first mentor, so to speak, as a play-by-play individual. Because what Neil did, he allowed Stacy to be Stacy. On TV, the analyst is the mojo. The analyst is the go-to. And credit Neil, because he gave Stacy every opportunity to excel and to showcase his not only basketball acumen, but also his sense of humor and his personality. And so when Stacy took off in 2008, and it was a perfect storm because Derrick Rose rookie year, and Derrick, of course, was a human highlight reel every game. And I'm talking every game. And Stacy built on that with his Chicago kid, the Windy City Assassin, or whatever you want to say about, the days of the Bulls with Rose, and then we had some down years, and now hopefully we're coming back with Buzelis and whatnot. But we had a great foundation with Noah and Heinrich and Gibson and Luol Deng and Derrick, and we could go right down the list, on and on. Those were some really good years of Bulls basketball. And so then when Neil decides to retire, Adam comes in, and Adam and Stacy had a different dynamics because they were on the same page with the music culture, with just the whole genre of what is happening in their worlds. There was a connection there. And so that they reached an audience that maybe that had not been there before. And so all in all, when you look at the life and legacy of Stacy King, he was a 3-time NBA champion, but I think his legacy will be always built on his broadcasting abilities.
Absolutely. Now, I want to talk about some things that he did broadcasting-wise, but not necessarily have to do with him being on air. I know that a couple years ago when the Bulls started the Ring of Honor, and Stacey King was pretty much emceeing everything, and which was really great. And then, of course, the crowd, when Jerry Krause's name was brought up, I thought that was classless by the fans to boo his wife and widow. But Stacey handled that with maturity and grace and comforted Mrs. Krause very maturely, and I thought that was very stand-up-ish of him. Is that just the person who he is, just to take charge and take leadership in certain situations like that?
You know what? Stacey never forgot his roots. And who drafted Stacey King? It was Jerry Krause.
Yes.
And, without Stacey King being drafted by the Bulls, I don't think he has that type of impact in a Sacramento or any other market. This was awesome, where Stacey had a chance to not only come in as a Chicago Bull and to embrace the organization, and in return, the organization embraced him and the city embraced him because of his personality, because of his kindness, because of the fact he would go out of his way to meet and greet fans everywhere. Yes. It's not only the United Center, but we're going on the road in concourses. When he's making his way to the broadcast table, people want a picture, people want autographs. It was great. And so I think it was a great marriage for Stacey and the Bulls.
Absolutely. I totally concur. And especially being in the broadcasting field, I'm young in my career still. And so just being able to call on people like him, like yourself, to just give advice to the younger generation to help us grow and to become better in our craft, I think that was totally amazing, because that's how selfless he really was. The way he talked, he's been in Chicago so long, you would have thought he was a normal Chicagoan every single day. So
absolutely.
It was so wonderful just to get that personality from him, to just be able to just speak on him kindly and to just talk to him about just, growing in our field. And so, I have another broadcasting question for you as well with Stacey. And so I know that you touched a little bit on his dynamic with Adam Amin, and I wanted to dwell into that just a little bit more with his relationship with him. I know you said it's like pop culture thing and things of that nature, but how great was their dynamic? Because you and Bill Winnington are awesome. You do a fantastic job of painting a picture of seeing the game, even if you can't actually watch it. But can you talk a little bit about their relationship as well, as far as what they brought TV-wise?
Well, I mean, because the chemistry is so important in our business. Chemistry is everything. And I don't think you can go to the grocery store and buy chemistry. All right. You can't order it online. You either have it or you don't. And there are certain elements in depth of chemistry. And so, I'm blessed. Bill and I are very, very, very close, not only in broadcasting, but in life. We have a lot of similarities in many different ways of living. But I think the same can be applied with Adam and Stacey. And they just gelled, they clicked from day one. And I think it shows on television. Obviously, I'm on the radio doing a game while they're doing a game. So I don't get a chance to see them 24/7 unless I want to, replay a game and look at tape of a certain, play calls or strategy and whatnot. But I mean, it's obvious the fans love them, and rightfully so. I mean, Adam is a generational talent, as Stacey was, and gosh, it's so hard to say was. I wish I could say is, but yeah, and so wow.
I understand. So I definitely understand. I lost my mom last year, so I know how hard this is. My mom passed suddenly last year, so I definitely get it.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. I want to just ask you just a couple more questions. I know we're limited on time, but just a couple more things to talk about with certain things like his catchphrases and, some of his iconic calls and sayings. Can you talk a little bit about that, about the creativity and how he came up with some of these things?
You know what? Again, another good question. And I think sometimes it just popped in his brain. You know what? And because I did not work with him, I did like maybe a handful of fill-in games with him during my years with the Bulls, but I don't know how that all came about. I don't know if sometimes you're driving your car and something just, fires in your brain, or whether or not it was in the moment. So I wish I could tell you, and I can't.
No, I definitely understand. I mean, to me, he's so legendary. He's up there with the icons of Harry Carey's and, people of that nature that always gave us that great dynamic voice, because to me, he represented the Bulls so well as not just a player, but as a commentator. And it's one of those things where you feel like you grow up with the person. You know the person right in front of you. It's one of those things where, that's all you know. And so for me, he's basically all I know as Chicago basketball besides yourself and Bill Wennington. And it just feels like one of those things where it doesn't feel real, It just
I understand. It doesn't feel real, and it won't feel real for a long, long time.
Yes, absolutely. And so I know a couple players came out yesterday and they brought out press releases or just simple messages on social media about that. But can you talk about a little bit about his life and legacy with the organization?
Well, I mean, the organization loves him, and the players love him, and he. And again, the thing is, the players really didn't have any connection with Stacey as a player unless they went on YouTube, right?
Right.
And called up. But one thing that Stacey, Stacey would share his knowledge with players, and he wouldn't force it on them. But if he was in a conversation with players, they listened. And I think that is a great testimony on the respect players had for Stacey. And, he's definitely is going to be missed by all of us. Not only, I'm going to miss.
The Chicago Bulls select Stacey King from the University of Oklahoma.
You could have gone number 1. Instead, you go number 6. Any disappointments?
Oh, definitely not. I'm playing one of the best players in the NBA, and I'm very fortunate to be in Chicago.
Stacey has been special to me over the 10 plus years we've been together.
Oh, come on, baby. The dynamic duo, baby.
He should be thinking, the will off you. Too big, too strong, too fast.
See what I got to deal with? Too big, too strong, too fast, too good.
He's been a godsend for me.
Stacey's, colorful views of the game, his outgoing nature, and his knowledge of the game. There are not many people like Stacey.
Effort plays right there, win ball games. This is a team effort, baby. Michael Jackson had the Jackson 5, and I got all of you guys with me, baby. Come on, baby. Come on.
And if you were to ask Stacey which of the Jackson 5 he is, I think we all know the answer.
Of course, I'm Michael.
Nationwide is on your side, and Stacey King is too. Woo!
The
baby.
pipes.
Oh, baby.
The world don't move to a beat, just one drum. What might rap for you? It might rap, son.
Just by sheer volume, you're going to develop a rhythm and a cadence and a chemistry. And luckily, when you have a partner that is open to all of those things like Stacey is, it becomes fairly easy to find that rhythm. I've definitely grown because of him. I've figured out more ways to be adaptable because Stacey, his energy is what people come for.
Stop it! Don't do it like that! What are you doing, Dragic? Did you not get the memo? Derrick Rose can go upstairs.
One thing about Chicago, it's a hard-working city that wants to get behind this team and its people.
You're an All-American, and you're drafted number 1. You come up to the Bulls, and you look around and you say, by golly, there's a bunch of other All-Americans sitting up there. It's a tough job.
It is really tough. I think that you have to come in with your priorities right, and you have to be willing to learn. And not everything is going to come easy in life. And I think if you just, take your time, good things come to those who wait.
We're the world champions! Now that's the inside stuff! Show them what Chicago's all about. Chicago, we love you, so what the hell, let's go for 2. Please, yeah, with your boy.
Winning that first one was huge for me because I know how important it was to the city of Chicago. I don't think we would have been a championship year if we didn't push each other.
Stacey King has played a major role.
Like I've been here since I was 22 years old. So I came straight from the draft here. So Chicago's home.
Derrick Rose go upstairs. you have come on, everything. Come on, man. I'm in charge. Come on, Stacey. Derrick Rose go upstairs.
You're a great partner, and you're an awesome analyst, and I hope people appreciate how talented you are on air. You're one of one, man. There's nobody like you.
Jimmy G. Buckets. The G stands for Gary White 8. The marvelous DeRozan Compton's finest. I want to tell you fire. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's your point guard, Neil Sorokin. Give me that. Just like a camera. Oh my God. I cannot believe this.
There's Bulls fans worldwide, and it's great to be part of that. Great to be a person that's put a brick in the road and shared it with all these beautiful people and these great teammates that I had an opportunity to play with. It's been a nice ride.
And you can drive home safely, Chicago. Beep, beep.
Back to the fundamentals with DJ Turbine and T-Dub on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome to the Fundamentals. I'm your host, Titus T.Dub Williams, with DJ Turbine, and we got a great guest coming to you today. Unfortunately, not on the best occasion, but a job well done occasion as well. We are talking about the life and legacy of the great Chicago Bulls legend, play-by-play analysis, and player Stacey King. Big Dave, welcome to the program. Thank you for joining the Fundamentals.
Man, thanks for having me on, bro. I wish I could join you at the proper time so I could stay longer, but I had to cut some time for you, bro, for real.
No, we definitely greatly appreciate your time and coming on to talk with us. As we all know, that Stacey was a huge legend in this city, and thoughts and prayers are with him and his family right now as they go through this difficult transition. But for those who don't know who Stacey King is, can you give us a little bit of background knowledge of him as the player and him as the broadcaster?
I mean, well, one, you know, I'm coming at this from a fan perspective, for real. One, I was a fan of him just from college. Stacey was dominant, especially in his final season at Oklahoma. Like, he was an absolute monster. Like, I believe 25-10 or 24-10 or something like that. But went to the championship the previous year. I believe the Sweet 16 that final year, if I'm not mistaken. But you just watched his game and it was real smooth, you know? Like, it was rare, at least for me, being that young, to see somebody play like that and be left-handed. So one, you know, and he was a bigger guy, and you know, I'm a big dude. Hello, Big Dave. So when I see big dudes playing that kind of way, I always watch them a little closer. You know what I mean? Watch them a little differently.
Oh yeah.
So Stacey was definitely one of those guys I watched like that, man. Like, he was just so smooth. Like, he was powerful, he was strong, and he wasn't no chump in the post, but he had just great touch. You know what I mean? And that's awesome to see somebody do. And like I said, being left-handed gave it a little extra oomph when I would watch him. So when he got drafted by the Bulls, I remember being excited because they came in, I believe, with B.J. Armstrong and Jeff Sanders, if I'm not mistaken. And when he came in, I was like, okay, bet, Stacey King coming in, about to play with us. And I remember he came in wearing 34, which is my favorite number. Shout out Charles Barkley, and Walter Payton. That's the reason that's my favorite number, those two guys. So when he came in rocking that, my eyes were extra glued, you know what I'm saying, to him. And he had to play a different role when he was here. He couldn't be that guy that they got the ball to, because lo and behold, they definitely had somebody else here who needed the basketball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they had a couple of guys ahead of him who needed the basketball. So his role changed. He became more of the enforcer kind of guy, more of the, you know, hard hat and lunch pail, as he likes to say, kind of player. And he changed. I remember when he changed his number and he went to number 21, and he wasn't super beloved by fans. I talked about this with Mark Carmen on the show yesterday when he was remembering when he got booed at the first championship, because Stacey was like, "Hey, I want the ball more." You know what I'm saying? I want to play a little bit more. And fans like, "What, dude? This is Jordan. Get out of here!" You know? And they were booing him like that. And I remember just it wasn't great. And I just remember him changing his number, to get a clean slate kind of thing. And he changed it to 21. And he absolutely was instrumental in that game 6 in 92 for the Bulls winning that championship and beating Portland Trailblazers. Bulls down by 15 in the fourth. And Stacey was on the floor, helping, bring the Bulls back and not letting Portland force that game 7. And in that third championship run, I remember him clearly in game 5 against the New York Knicks in that pivotal game 5, where Horace Grant and Jordan and Pippen were just blocking Charles Smith left and right. Stacey was on the floor for that. And I remember it was Anthony Mason, I believe, trying to get to the bucket, and Stacey tried to draw a charge, and he kind of fell to the ground, and he made Mason give up the ball to Charles Smith, and then awesomeness ensued after that. So also he is instrumental in the Bulls' next 3 championships because he was traded to Minnesota, and he was traded to Minnesota for Luke Longley. So the Bulls get their center that helped them win the next 3 championships. So Stacey had a nice career. I remember him playing for the Heat. I don't remember where else he played after that, but he had a real solid career. But obviously he's most known and beloved as what he did as a player for the Chicago Bulls, man. So Stacey could ball for sure, and he wasn't no chump, and he'd take on anybody, and he'd fight Rodman, he'd fight Lambeer, he'd fight whoever, was in the way. Danny Ferry, oh my God, like he fought Danny Ferry. Like,
names, man.
Yeah, man. Like Stacey didn't care, bro. If you couldn't mess with him, you know what I mean? Like, don't let, as the saying goes, don't let the smooth taste fool you. Like, don't let it fool you with Stacey. He was no kind of chump. You know what I mean? Like, he was strong-willed. And we were talking to Horace Grant earlier today about it, and he was saying the same, just kind of how iron sharpens iron. He was talking about the practices that they had and just how tough Stacey was in those practices, man, and just how strong, he was, but also just how hilarious he was, and how Stacey was always the practical joker and cracking jokes about anything. Making fun of voices, like his Bill Cartwright imitation is hilarious.
Oh, spot on.
Yeah, like it is hilarious. So yeah, but as a player, that was Stacey King, man. Like, he sacrificed for the greater good for this team.
Yeah, it's one of those things because myself, I never really got to see him play as a player. I heard of him as a player, but I was born in '93, so I missed that run of Stacey King in the NBA. So what I really know him is as a broadcaster. And so can you touch on that about the broadcasting aspect of his career as well?
No, I just second that, because I would say that as much as you put eloquently nicely about how his playing career, I love the fact that with Stacey, it's simple. Like, it's a generational thing. You have the fan base that saw him on the court, and then you had that younger fan base that heard him in their ears. And he was, like you say, it was hard not to love this guy, or he was just downright lovable. Like, this is a guy that we can support. And I love, like I said, from my perspective as T-Dub, it was a broadcast for us. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, and absolutely right. And he moved into that kind of seamlessly. Now, it's not, I didn't know, obviously I'm a fan, looking in. So when they brought him in, I'm like, oh wow, okay. All right, cool. Let's see what Stacey King is doing. Because before Stacey, there was Johnny Red Kerr. And Johnny Red Kerr was beloved. And there were some huge shoes to fill with that. And when Stacey came in the door, always the best thing to do when you're stepping into somebody's shoes is to not step into their shoes, is to keep those shoes next to you and step into your own pair, but keep those shoes next to you out of, for the respect, because you can't be that person. You got to be yourself. And Stacey understood that. And he always showed love to Red Kerr when he first started out and was broadcasting, for sure. He always showed him love and respect during the broadcast, for sure. But he was one of one. And you all, got a chance. We all got to witness that, for sure. Like, you can't name great Bulls moments without repeating something Stacey King said, after the Jordan era. Like, you just can't. Like, there's all kinds of them that you can point out, and sayings that he has that reach the fabric of your daily life. Like, there are people, I know we talked about this before, like, there are people who have kids, and when they get them kids some cookies, they're just like cookies. You know what I'm saying? Like just based off of Stacey King, man, or $10 move, 10-cent shot. You know, you'll say stuff like that with Stacey King. And there's so many, like when you recall Derrick Rose, like even if you're just talking about Derrick Rose in general, you're gonna say something that Stacey King said. Like, what are you doing, Dragic? You know, too strong, too big, too fast, too good. You know, you're gonna drop all those things. Let me step back and kiss myself. You know, like there's so many things. As a broadcaster, like he just brought joy. Like, do you know how hard it is for people to tune in to the Bulls over the last 10 years?
Yeah.
And they were tuning in not for the team, but for Stacey King and Adam Amin. That's what people were tuning in for. They wanted to hear them and listen to them talk and participate in that and hear that laughter and infectious joy, you know, that they provided to everybody. And that is, I can't really name you. I could count on one hand maybe like those kind of color commentators who are like that. That's like John Madden, you know what I'm saying? Or Harry Carey or Hawk Harrelson, like those kind of guys. That people would tune in for just to hear them, you know, just to hear their call and hear what they have to say. While you're watching the Bulls lose by 50, you still want to tune in to see Stacey King and Adam Amin because you knew the Bane voice was going to come out at some point in time. You knew he was going to joke about somebody in the audience. You knew he was going to tell a story. Like, Jeff Vukovich owes that dude checks. I hope he's getting them. Because we know who that is because of Stacey King, man. You know the nationwide jingle because of Stacey King. Like all these things that became a part of your Bulls fandom were because of Stacey King and will always be a part of Bulls fandom from here on out. You know, drive home safely, beep beep. Like you'll think that in your head after every kind of Bulls win. You'll hear that with Stacey King, man. So, no, what he did as far as the commentary and just how accessible he was, you know, to people. Always wanted to take pictures with anybody. Always talking to, you know, fans on social media, man. Like he always was building that bridge, you know, with you, bro. Like, and if he got to know you and spoke to you, you immediately became a friend of his. Like I remember when I interviewed him, like on my old podcast, bro. Like he came on, we talked for almost 3 hours, you know, and just I asked him everything, you know. Me and my friend Chris asked him just about everything we wanted to ask him, and he just was so kind and accessible. And then just the kind of things he was saying to me, like after the show, you know, and things he would just say about what I did, you know what I mean? Like it hits you, you know, it hits me differently now for sure, but it hit me then, like in the chest. I was like, dang, that's Stacey King saying that about me. Okay, nobody can tell me nothing. Like this is Stacey King, bro. Yes, so yeah, he was incredibly instrumental. The last time I got to interact with him was in Phoenix recently when the Bulls played the Suns, and we went down there. And I said this before, but there's a reason that I go and I just do it. And what I mean is when I know I want to do something, I just do it and I'll deal with whatever the consequences are later. And I'm saying that in this instance because Adam Amin had asked me to come down, you know, say what's up. You know, like, hey, what's up? Come down, say what's up to us. But after the game was over, security is telling everybody they got to go. Now, if I sat there and I listened to fear, and if I sat there and listened to security, I would have never made it over there. I would have left and just followed. But, you know, I wasn't listening to that. I just walked right over because Adam said I'd come over there. And when I walked over there, security tried to stop me. And I was like, yo, Adam, yo. And Adam was like, no, he good. And I came down and I got to say what's up to Adam, but I also got to chop it up with Stacey real quick. And just mess with him like I like to do, man. Like, hey, when you coming on the show, man? What you doing? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, come on, big dog. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. We got to take a photo together with me, him, Matt Peck, Luke Stuckmeyer, and all of us just got to take that photo. And that was the first thing that came to me because I don't like regrets. You know what I'm saying? I don't like regrets. I know they're a part of life and they're going to happen. But I try to exhaust everything to not live with a regret. So if I'm just thinking about, man, what if I had just listened to security? Or what if I had listened to fear? and didn't do that. You know, like how unfulfilled I would feel right now because I had an opportunity to speak to him one final time and it didn't happen. But it's the fact that I did is why, you know, gives you an extra sense of joy because you got to get down there and say what's up to him. You got to take that photo. You got to share a moment with him because you just never know. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, just always kind of go for that kind of thing because you just never truly know. But that was my last time seeing him and speaking to him was in Phoenix, man. But y'all know the joy that he brought and the love that he gave for not only basketball but especially for Bulls Nation, bro. Like he helped continue to grow, you know, fandom because of him. Like he was just that good on the microphone.
What that makes me think of, you know, it was Dave. We was talking about a couple of those things, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I got a little like emotional right now. You think talking about we beat Chicago? I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we ain't gonna hear that again. I mean, we still will, but
we gonna hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it tugs at the heartstrings, if you know what I'm saying. For those who really enjoy the broadcast. But one of the things I do, like you just mentioned there about how it's been going. One of the most, I guess, a reel that I saw like a year or so ago around the holiday season, around Christmas time, that still like rings in my head because it was a little kid who was getting a present from his family, and they put it on socials, and they gifted him a Zach LaVine jersey. But he opens it, and he's like, he goes, "Ooh, give me the hot sauce Zach LaVine." I was like, "That's Stacey. That's Stacey." I was like, "Come on!" It was one of those really endearing, really adorable moments that I was like, "That kid's a Bulls fan for life." I know that, and that's probably because Stacey King, and that's a Zach LaVine jersey. Yeah, Zach LaVine wasn't doing much winning here, so that kid became a fan because of what was happening on that mic. I believe because you got to do a good product, but and Stacey and Adam were always a part of like a real reason why you would not stay for the call, like watch the game.
Think about the players, guys, that we have seen here come through Chicago that are endeared to Chicago because of Stacey King. Like nobody has that love for Javonte Green. Like we got that love for Javonte Green because that's of Stacey. Like because of the 5 Javontes on the floor.
Yes,
like
sir,
nobody
man.
talking about David Nwabla. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Wow, that's the name. That's the name.
You know what I mean? But us,
Yeah.
like Nwabla's, you know what I mean? Nwabla's on the floor. You know what I mean? Like it's us. Like it's Stacey King. Like E'Twaun Moore, you know, gets that love here because of Stacey King. You know what I'm saying? Like he is the one that makes those players a thing here. Like you mentioned, even Zach LaVine, like you said, like Flight 8. You know what I mean? Like DeMarvelous DeRozan. You know what I'm saying? Like all those things, bro. He made players like just role players a thing here in Chicago. And CJ Watson. You know what I mean? Like what else is CJ Watson going to get that kind of love? You know what I'm saying? Other than here in Chicago. And that's because of Stacey King. That is strictly because of Stacey King. And of course, how they played, you know, and things like that endeared them to Bulls fans. But Stacey King on the call, like Omir Sheik, you know what I'm saying? Still the man up in here. A Sheik and Destroy. The Turkish Hammer. Like all that stuff. You know what I mean? You remember because of what Stacey did for those kind of guys, man. And somebody made the point, and I was like, maybe that's a good point. Like maybe he was like that because he was a role player as well. So pointing out those guys who were doing those small things, you know what I mean? Like pointing those guys out probably, you know, really truly meant something to them. But yeah, man, I don't know other broadcasters who are like that, you know, who can grant and give that kind of love and exposure to the little player, but also endear them to Bulls fans, to where Bulls fans see them. It's love on sight. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's all because of Stacey.
Man, you're not lying. I thought about the White Mamba or something like that.
Right.
Captain Kirk and all that, and he giving people these nicknames that stick with them for life. And you know, Jimmy G Buckets, the G stands for gets.
That's right. That's right, man.
Awesome. Where's my bubble machine? I mean, I could go on and on about him. And it's a lot of love, man. And my first introduction to play-by-play broadcasting was, like you said, with Johnny Red Kerr and Lane Levine going at it and doing their things. And so it was one of those things where when Stacey came in, I knew who he was initially, but once I actually started hearing him and he got into his own comfort, like you said, it was just one of those things where it just seemed like it was perfect. Like you would think that he was from Chicago his whole life, because of the way he talked and how much he cared about the city, not just on the court, but off the court as well. I mean, I even went to see Razor Red one time just because he recommended him. So it's just one of those things how great Stacey really was as a man.
Yeah.
One of the things I do want to talk about as a man, and I brought this up with Chuck in our earlier interview, was one of those things about how classful he really was. I mean, we all remember what happened during the Ring of Honor ceremony a couple years ago. And Mrs. Krause was there, and Jerry Krause, and the crowd actually booed him. His wife started crying, and Stacey was the first one to console her and call out Bulls Nation for that, because we are better than that. And so that just shows how great he was as a human being, because it wasn't about him. It was about everybody. So do you have any stories like that about what you know of Stacey, about, you know, just being that guy to stand up for the organization?
I mean, he was always an organizational guy, bro. Like it is a hard thing to do to be a guy that is strictly for the organization, but also try to be critical of what's happening on the floor. Like, that's a fine line to toe. And Stacey told it really well. Like, he was always supportive, always hyping it up. You know what I mean? Getting it ready. Come on, Bulls fans. Like, this is our time. You know, it's going to be different. You know what I mean? This and that, right? But then when it went wrong, he would tell you certain guys doing things like, you immediately think of Denzel Valentine pulling up from 30, airball in the 3. And Stacey just, oh, no. You know what I mean? Like, immediately was like that. You know, or when the bald-headed menace tried to say Luke Cornett's Robert Horry and say, what? You know what I'm saying? Robert Horry. Like, you know, he didn't fake the funk on none of that. Like, he let you know, and he was genuine and for real with that, but without tearing down. You know what I mean? Like, he was not into tearing people down, but he was absolutely into telling you what's wrong, you know, and telling you hey, this ain't right. Hey, this ain't going on. Hey, he's got to work on this. He's got to work on that. But he can be this, and this, you know? So tearing down, but also building up more so than he's destroying. And that says a lot about a person who can do those kind of things, man. And if you just, as far as the man is concerned, like, guys, you can just look on social media and see it. Like, all the tributes and all the stories and all the things that just fans from anywhere, from all over the globe, are putting out, the pictures they're putting out that he took with them. How people are like, I came here just to take a picture with you, Stacey King. And my DM, I was getting DMs from people just telling those kind of stories. Like, I got a DM from someone in Australia who was thanking us for the show that we did about Stacey King, but was saying he from a small town in Australia, and so nobody could really understand and feel why he was so sad, you know what I mean, about this. And he was just explaining to me just what Stacey meant to his Bulls, means to his Bulls fandom. For somebody who was just across the ocean, you know what I'm saying? But still impacting his life. And that just says so much about the human being, man. But there are pictures everywhere. There are photos, and it's funny because I was saying this to my boy Will Gottlieb, that when somebody passed, like, I'm not the person that puts out photos of when somebody passes. Like, I'm very like private with that, and because I'm like, no, that's a family thing. But Stacey, I felt a need to, because the family is the Bulls community. You know what I mean? So you're sharing that with them. And so when I found like photos and the interview I did with him, and I'm sharing clips from it, you know, and I'm putting it out and showing these things, and other people are sharing their pictures and telling stories, you know, about Stacey, and just watching, you know, Horace Grant talk about him and, you know, break down about it. You know what I mean? Talking about Stacey King and just what he meant to him. Like, those things tell you the kind of man that he was. Like, you haven't seen someone have a bad word to say about Stacey King. And they've all been the same kind of story of how he shows genuine love, how he calls, you know, people to have genuine laughter, how he made you feel like you were a part of him, and things like that, and how he just embraced people. And yeah, man, like, for me, that's the measure of who the man is, you know, is how he is spoken about now, and how people are showing up for him now. You know what I mean? And they were showing up for him then, but now it's a time for like love, laughter, and healing with people. And so they're sharing all these stories, and they're sharing all these photos about what Stacey King meant to their lives, man. And he's truly like a one of one, kind of guy. You know what I mean? And that's why it hurts so much because, as you said, Turbine, like you think about what you not going to hear now, when you're talking about the United Center. And now when the Bulls finally look like they're getting their act together, you wanted to hear the new nickname Stacey King was going to say, about whoever the new draft pick was coming in, or seeing if Essengay turns into something, and what Stacey King was going to have to say about these things, man. Like that's the really sad part as a Bulls fan about this is we won't, get to hear those new things about it, but we will continue though to show that love, for what he absolutely did over these years for us.
So let's not go too down on this, it's more of a celebration, Sure. Quote, I think it was Dr. Seuss, let's not cry because it's over, let's smile because it happened,
Yes, absolutely.
Better ways we can do it. So, and I think Stacey, with the outpour of support from Bulls Nation and NBA veterans so far, he did it the right way. To say, for lack of a better term, that man did it the right way. He lived a life that people can love, respect, and honor, and look back and say, man, we're going to miss him. So with that being said, I'm going to ask you right here, what's a favorite moment of Stacey that you made you put a smile on your face? I'll go first real quick. It's something that I always love.
Before you do that, Turbine, I actually want to play something real quick for us because I think this will bring up the spirits and show exactly who he is as a person.
Okay. When I was in college, I was a big Michael Jordan fan.
Junior from Lawton, Oklahoma, number 33, Stacey King.
I had a poster of Michael Jordan on my wall. So when I would go to the game, I would actually rub the poster, one time, sometimes twice if I wanted to have a really, really good game. And I'd go out and score 30, 40. And so I always attributed touching MJ's poster brought me luck. So then, how ironic I get drafted by the Bulls. So my first game, come in, I felt like I didn't need the poster anymore because I got Michael Jordan next to me now. I remember going out getting ready to go shoot. Michael was had his shirt off. He's got his North Carolina shorts on. So he's in the middle of getting dressed, which is kind of awkward if you think about this story I'm going to tell you. I start to walk out and I go, wait, you know what? I used to touch his poster. I think I'm going to touch him. What luck would that? That'll be really awesome because I get to touch the real guy now. And that'll bring me luck. So I walk over to MJ. He's got his shirt's off. He's got his back turned to me. He's in his North Carolina shorts. He's getting dressed. I walk over and I rub him twice. Now I look back on it was kind of awkward. So he looks at me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh man, I used to touch your poster when I was in college. Man, it used to bring me luck." He said, "Get away from me, dude! Don't be doing that." I'm like, and I didn't think it was weird at the time, but then I looked back. I said, "Oh yeah, that might have been a little bit crossing the line." But after that, I didn't have to touch him anymore. He said, "Don't ever touch me again. I'm on your team, so I'm not going to get cool." But your mind tells you, it's a mind thing. You got to believe in something.
Needs terrific concentration to try and hold and maintain a lead, particularly in this building. The Bulls with a three. And they got it with Michael Jordan.
So I just want to play that for the fellas real quick, just something to lighten up the spirits and show how great Stacey really was, man. So yeah, it's just one of those funny stories that he said. So Turbine, you can go first, and I'll share my story after you go.
I mean, after that, you might as well put me to shame, bud. Like, come on, that was good. Like,
that's awesome.
But for me, one of the more funny ones on the broadcast I ever loved was when Lonzo, brother LeAngelo, put out Swerve. Is that what it's called, guys?
Oh yes,
the song.
The song.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting the title of the title of the song wrong. But anyway, Lonzo hit a three in the corner and then pantomimed, swerving in the corner, and then Adam really quick is trying to get Stacey's attention, and he sees it on the replay. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna swerve in that corner." Whoa. I just started laughing. I was like, "Wow." He just caught that on a replay. It was perfect. I don't know why, but that was one of the last times like I really got a good chuckle out of Stacey.
Yeah, I remember because when Lonzo hit that three, he started doing
swerving in the corner.
And yeah, I remember that. That was hilarious, man. Like, yeah, it's so many of those moments, man. Like, I mean, the Derrick Rose dunk. You know, what are you doing, Dragic? Like, comes to mind immediately.
Yes.
Or let me step back and kiss myself. You know, when he hit that, like he meant it. He meant those things. Like, I remember when I did the podcast with him, I asked him. He said so much stuff. Like, I didn't know that he almost went to DePaul instead of Oklahoma. So that was crazy to hear that story. But he was he was talking about. I asked him how he got started, just in basketball in general, and he was just like, "Oh man, just going out with my friends and playground to playground kind of thing." And he was like, "We're beating everybody," and then I'm realizing I could beat anybody while I'm playing with this. Didn't matter who I had. He was like, then it became a hustler. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I became a hustler after that. He was like, do this so I can get some Hubba Bubba. You know what I'm saying? Get some chips. Whatever I can get. When I'm out here, trying to do it as a kid. And just saying that stuff, like, kind of endears you to him, because you relate to that. You absolutely relate to that, all the way down to the Hubba Bubba. You know what I mean? What that he's talking about. Like, you relate to all of that. You're like, oh man, we came up like that. Like, that's the same kind of way we all were into it. And so that was always one of my favorite kind of stories. But man, he had so many jokes. Like, he was just funny all the time, but it wasn't forced. Like, it's just genuinely who he is. It's just genuinely, this is me, when I'm out here. So yeah, just so many those moments. I remember even when Josh Giddey hit the half court, and how he went to, Sanford and Son. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, he introduced Sanford and Son to a whole generation. Like, there was a lot of people who didn't know what that was, what he was saying. But they went and found out exactly what Stacey was talking about with that, man, just because of those things. So, yeah, it's those things that I'm going to remember about Stacey. But the Robert Horry is something I'll always remember because I was there. This is when I was doing Bulls Outsiders. I was there in the studio. And when Layla Rahimi said that from the sideline, I remember myself, man, and we said, what? And then right at that time, Stacey said, what? And it was like, yes, thank you. Like, he understands. He spoke for the fan. Like, and so those moments stand out, man. And yeah, just the shout outs he was giving me, like, during the broadcast was crazy. Like, to hear that stuff and how much he liked Bulls Outsiders and the show we were doing was crazy to hear from him. And yeah, man, just so many of those cool moments that I'm gonna relive a lot of. But I always liked his sayings because I always pointed out to people, I was like, man, Stacey, this is why I rock with Stacey, because he's a big dude. And Stacey, a lot of Stacey sayings had to do with food. And I always liked that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no soup for you. Like sriracha, give me hot sauce, like cookies, taking his lunch money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it always had something to do with that. Let me get some butter with that roll. Like, it was always something there like that. With him, bro. Like, he has so many things. Posted up like Raisin Bran. Or I like my meat. When Bellinelli hit that shit, I like my meat spicy. Right? Yeah, man. Like, those little things. Like, he was just so funny, bro. Like, he was so funny and honest, and that's hard to find. You know what I mean? In somebody, it's genuine, and when people are genuine, they see it in you when it's genuine, and they can gravitate to that. And yeah, man, just always warm and inviting, bro. Even on a broadcast, it's always warm and inviting and hilarious. Absolutely, absolutely hilarious.
Man, I don't know how to top you guys' stories.
No, it ain't. We ain't trying to top. Maybe it's
a competition.
Yeah, at all.
The one that stands out for me the most, honestly, is a hilarious story. They were playing the Orlando Magic. I think this was right after COVID, when the fans could start coming back to the games. And there was a fan in the stands that was wearing a Michael Jordan jersey. Yeah. And I don't know what material it was made out of, but Adam and Stacey went in. And it was one of the funniest conversations I ever heard. And the fact that it went viral after that, like ESPN was playing it. I know Pat Thomasula, he played it on the newscast the next day on WGN. And, you know, it just went somewhere everywhere. Bulls commentator talks about Bulls fans' jersey, and he kept calling him Mikhail Jordan or something like that.
Yeah.
It was just too funny. I mean, it was hilarious. I was cracking up with him. Like, it just reminded me of, you know, like the boys getting together like and talking about each other's mamas and stuff like that back in the day. So, I mean, that's one that definitely stands out because even Adam was with it. And then when they bantered off of each other so well, when because they both know pop culture very well, so it just seemed like it was a match made in heaven for those two to broadcast with each other. But that whole McHale jersey in Orlando was hilarious to me.
I do remember that.
Like, I can watch that so anytime if I'm having a bad day and chuckle and be like, everything's all good now. Just because
like,
how
what is
funny
that?
it really is.
He was like, that, you got 2 for 1. You're like, buy 2, get 1 on that jersey. You're like, yo. Oh my God. And then what he did for that young man, you know what I mean? Like elevated him. You know what I mean? It got him love. And then he got some Bulls jerseys and some cool tickets out of it and some promotion out of it.
You can monetize that.
Yeah, exactly. Like all of that stuff, like all because of Stacey, man. Like that's just the coolest thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I just love that he can make a conversation out of nothing because, you know, we always struggle with some of the Bulls guys when they've been bad, but he was always thoroughly entertaining. And so that's what made you want to come back is to listen to what's he going to say next, you know, like you said. It's just a big personality and a big spirit, and it's definitely going to be missed for sure. And I love that he took so much pride with the Bulls. And, you know, when they would have bad games or, you know, some players had bad games and they would kind of get out of the games or, you know, not seem interested. And he's like, man, you're getting paid millions of dollars to play a game. What are you doing? You know, we won championships.
More from the Fundamentals coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. That you can be vulnerable and powerful. That you can be more connected and resilient. That taking care of me makes us stronger. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org.
I'm Sally, a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs. Excuse me, hi. What do you think this place needs?
I'd like to see more parking.
More playgrounds.
Free movies. Oh, that's easy. Better restaurants.
And you, what do you think this place needs?
This place? More ice cream trucks.
Okay. How about you?
Wi-Fi everywhere?
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
Oh, that's way better. Now that you mention it.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org. Because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
I'm Selma, and I'll be your server this evening. The special is pasta primavera, and it comes with a salad. Oh, and by the way, I abuse my children. Lots of times I beat them for even the smallest reason. When they really get on my nerves, I lock them in the closet for a few hours.
If only child abuse was this easy to recognize, perhaps then more people would report it. If you even suspect abuse, call Child Help at 1-800-4A-CHILD or visit www.childhelp.org. We've helped millions of people help millions of children, and we can help you. All calls are anonymous and confidential, so remember, 1-800-4-A-CHILD or visit www.childhelp.org. Child Help. Trust your instincts. A public service message brought to you by Child Help and the Ad Council.
I may ask this family about what they eat.
Dr. M?
If he's turning playtime into screen time, that might be something I'd like to know. Has he tried smoking? Does he vape? I might even ask about changes to her body. Is she feeling overwhelmed? Any signs of anxiety? If we feel comfortable asking these questions, shouldn't we also be asking, how do you store firearms in your home?
Firearm injuries are the leading cause of death for children and teens in the U.S. It's our responsibility to have a conversation about firearm injury prevention, because questions about safety are questions about health. Find tools at agreetoagree.org/healthcare.
Back to the fundamentals with DJ Turbine and T-Dub on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cat is loose on that ketchup.
Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. That you can be vulnerable and powerful. That you can be more connected and resilient. That taking care of me makes us stronger. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth partying with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
I'm Selma, and I'll be your server this evening. The special is pasta primavera, and it comes with a salad. Oh, and by the way, I abuse my children. Lots of times I beat them for even the smallest reason. When they really get on my nerves, I lock them in the closet for a few hours.
If only child abuse was this easy to recognize, perhaps then more people would report it. If you even suspect abuse, Call Child Help at 1-800-4A-CHILD or visit www.childhelp.org. We've helped millions of people help millions of children, and we can help you. All calls are anonymous and confidential, so remember 1-800-4A-CHILD or visit www.childhelp.org. Child Help. Trust your instincts. A public service message brought to you by Child Help and the Ad Council.
I'm Sally, a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs. Excuse me, hi. What do you think this place needs?
I'd like to see more parking.
More playgrounds.
Free movies.
Oh, that's easy. Better restaurants.
And you, what do you think this place needs?
This place? More ice cream trucks.
Okay. How about you?
Wi-Fi everywhere?
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
Oh, that's way better.
Now that you mention it.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org. Because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Meals from those years are hard to forget. It was all white bread and whole milk, hamburger casseroles and quiche Lorraines, all with a side of cigarettes. We ate salads as desserts. We knew a party was classy if it had a cheese log, and we never missed an after-dinner smoke. It didn't matter if we were in our dining rooms, a burger joint, or the ritziest of restaurants. There'd be an ashtray on every table, and that very particular flavor in every meal. We smoked for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's amazing that our food could taste like anything else. If that was you then, get your lungs screened now. Surviving lung cancer starts with a scan. Learn more at screenyourlungs.org. This PSA was made possible by industry funding and guidance from lung cancer patient groups.
Hey, there he is. How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand or what?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
Are you okay?
I'm having a stroke.
Your face looks weird too.
I'm having a stroke.
Are you having a seizure or something?
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear.
I'm having a stroke.
You just need to know the sudden signs. Look for FAST, F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. Or S, speech difficulty. Then T, time. Time to call 911 immediately, because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Know the sudden signs. Face, arm, speech, time. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Information on hot water heating.
No. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out the words.
World music, playing track now.
No.
Let me try. Our daughter gets confused about which details in a story are important.
Which paper towels are most absorbent?
What?
Here are 5 product reviews.
Why are you not getting me?
See, I told you.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
The following message is brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be with a high purpose to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all, we approach this problem of reemployment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Your stuff can be a resource for change. Donate to Goodwill, where your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org.
June is Pride Month. It's a celebration for people who live out loud. We are WVON.
It's The Fundamentals with T-Dub and DJ Turbine on Chicago's Essential Storyteller, WVON.
Summer's coming, everyone is all out in these streets. Sun is shining, feeling fire. Why don't we just meet? No, Dan Ryan Lakeshore Drive, man, let's go to the beach. Stop by Harold's, we gon' get some lemon pepper wings, cause we gon' party. Summer shining, nothing quite like summer in the shining. Cause we gon' party, summer in the shining, we gon' party. Summer shining, nothing quite like summer in the shining. We gon' party, summer in the shining. Summer Sunday's coming, new life is coming, and it's gonna preach. Then Sunday service at the land, that's where Dwayne will be. He's the coldest DJ, everybody always on their feet. Dancing, even shaking, chilling, grooving to the beat, cause we gon' party. Summer shining, nothing quite like summer in the shining. We gon' party, summer in the shining. Oh, we gon' party. Summer shining, nothing quite like summer in the shining. We gon' party, summer in the shining. Selena, come and strike a J Hus from here to Hit you Saba Obama Library, what you wanna do? Festival season, gospel blues, house silver room parties back to summer shy is wild, man. There is so much more to do, cause we gon' party. Summer shine, nothing quite like summer in the shine. We gon' party, summer in the summer. We gon' party. Summer, we gon' party. Nothing like summer shine.
Yo, welcome back to the Fundamentals. Gotta say thank you to Kendall Moore for putting me on to Summer Shine, because this is gonna be my vibe for the rest of 2026. I'm telling you right now.
Definitely a vibe for sure.
But yo, Chicago and out here, and who never heard this, it's my anthem. It's gonna be my anthem. I'm saying that right now. T-Dub, how you feeling, bro?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Hey man, after that first hour, I'm all right. With a heavy heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
This whole week's been hard because of what happened with Stacey.
Yeah.
The Cubs ain't making it any better. But, you know, that's just me. But I'm doing all right other than that. How about you, my boy?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. You know, this has been a very heavy week, you know, with the passing of Spencer Link Sr. His services started yesterday, and his funeral will be tomorrow. And then the news of Stacey King last week. So, you know, it's been a really trying time for, you know, Chicago icons. So, you know, this one definitely hits home. Spencer did hit home too as well. So it's just one of those times where, you know, you got a lot going on, but you got to be grateful for the life they lived and grateful for the life that you live.
Barbara Jane, I see you in the Facebook chat. You acting up. You funny. I love it, though. She said this song made her hungry. And I understand you talking about Harold's, you talking about all the fun spots in Chicago.
I see it. That's
so,
hilarious.
hey, I think she made this song her personal song too for her summer. Because she said, hey, I'm hungry now. But, and she quoting the lyrics over here. She said, Harold's lemon pepper wings, yummy with the mild sauce on the side. Yeah, Barbara Jane, that's it. Put that in the playlist. Come on. Saying. Go ahead, drive on Lakeshore do Sabo and tell me this song will make you want to visit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many spots?
You gonna go all through it. Oh, whoa. So, all right, welcome back to the fundamentals. T-Dub, DJ Turbine, that's gonna be your voice for this evening. Honestly, that's all you need. That's the core. That's the roots. This is what it is when it comes down to this show. You know what I mean? We all know this.
Absolutely.
First hour, as I said, when I alluded to at the beginning of the intro, when the cold open happened, the first hour was going to be a tribute to Stacey King, Chicago legend, and quite frankly, I still got misty. I'm telling you right now, I'm sitting here listening to it, and I'm just like,
honestly, it's crazy because you don't know how hard it was. So for those of you listen to the first hour,
if y'all can see my eyes through these glasses, y'all see it.
I did the interview, the one-on-one with Chuck Swirsky, who's the play-by-play announcer for the Chicago Bulls. He does it at CSN. No, I'm sorry. He does it for the Score. And so he covers the radio portion of the Bulls coverage, and Stacey covered the color commentary analyst side of the TV coverage. And so him and Stacey were good friends. And the moment when Chuck started breaking down and stuff, and it was really tough for me because I was just trying to keep my composure. Like, hey, I understand, my mom passed suddenly last year. As everybody knows, my mom passed last year. So it was one of those moments where you reflect and you think about how bad, things happened. And so it was tough. It was tough to conduct that interview, but also I was grateful for the life that Stacey lived because for sure that we talked about, Chuck and we talked about some great times and some great memories. And he put me on things, for instance, like, again, I didn't know that Stacey was also coaching after he left the NBA, that he got into being an assistant coach. And, he said that he had the talent enough because he watched him his whole career to be actually a head coach. He would have been a great head coach. I never knew that.
Yo, how many years you and me was talking about, like, give him a shot. Just
literally.
On some side, sidebar combo.
That's what's crazy.
And we're like, yo, Stacey's, we're being a little, facetious here, but saying in the sense of, like, when we listen to these broadcasts and you hear what Stacey got to say, you're like, oh, you got a point.
Literally.
Like, you hear that? Like,
KYP, know your personnel.
Yeah. And it's an easy game, ladies and gentlemen. It's a simple game, ladies and gentlemen. Like, come on. He was trying to break it down for us and how many layers. And, like, I do believe, and this is me, I really do believe with all my heart of hearts, he would have been a decent coach. Like, I really think he would have been. Like, he would have been the definition of a player's coach. Like,
absolutely.
We would have wanted to run through a brick wall for that man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. There's no question.
That just, it feels like that when I hear that, and I always saw the personality and the analytic stuff that he always broke down. Yeah. And right now I'm just happy, or at least to say that I said it in the convo with Big Dave, but I'll say it again right here. And it's one of those things I say. But as Dr. Seuss once said, do not be sad because it is over. Smile because it happened.
Absolutely.
And it is a true testament, because stay with it. But at the end of the day, the emotions are going to be the emotions. And man, when we was talking to Big Dave, man, I really got stuttered in there. I had to stop because Big Dave was telling us about, like, he was just shooting off the rip, like, sayings, things like that. And the one that really, really just hit me to my core was when he said, drive home safely, Chicago, beep, beep.
Yep.
Bro, like, it broke my heart. Like, I'm not trying to be that guy right now, but like, it broke my heart just simply because I was just like, man, I am seriously never gonna hear Stacey King say that again. And that's what broke my heart. And I mean, guys, I'm just saying, like, audience, I don't know who's listening to us tonight, and it's just one of those scenarios where it's just like, don't take anything for granted.
Absolutely.
It can be gone at a blink. And what happened with Stacey is the definition of it can be gone in a blink. See, I'm gonna take this real quick.
No, absolutely. I definitely get it, because of the fact is that, life can be gone in an instant. Like I said, I lost my mom last year suddenly. So, I started not taking life for granted. And then the whole thing with Spencer Jr. passing away, and his family and my family were really close to each other. And then the fact that literally a week later we lost Stacey King, and it's just like, wow, like literally Stacey was planning on coming to our show. to talk to us. And, you know, I reached out to him and he was happy to come on to the show. We tried to get him on last year. Unfortunately, things got, you know, cross-wired, and unfortunately we couldn't get him on. But I reached out to him again. He agreed to come on to the station and, you know, talk about Bulls. And, you know, he wanted to give us the opportunity, you know, to talk to him and all that. And then I have talked to him before that instance about, you know, just little things, this and that nature. And he was always a respectable person. He always wanted to look out for the guys that was getting started with us in our careers. And he's very happy to say hello and greet everybody.
Looking out for the little guy.
Always. And it's just
really,
like, it's one of those
definition.
It is one of those tough situations where you can't believe somebody's gone who lived such a great life. And yeah, I mean, I was telling Chuck in the interview that you heard, the pre-recorded interview that you heard, that, you know, I checked out this barber, Razor Red, because he recommended him. Like, you know what? Me and Vooch go here. Some of the other players go here. I'm not going to name all of those players.
You said Vooch?
It's a list. But yeah, Vooch used to go to Razor Red. Ayo Dosunmu, Zoe used to go there. You know, Derek went there a couple times. Like, there's a few players that went there back and forth to Razor Red, and he just recommended them, like, yo, he do great cuts, because Stacey had one of the sharpest cuts I ever seen. And so he's like, yeah, I got to give a shout out to my boy Razor Red. And so it's just like, it's little things like that be like, you know, I love Stacey because he's part of the culture. Like, he understood the assignment. He was entertaining, but also the fact that he was real. You know, he was Chicago through and through. And I respect that very much about him, because I told Chuck in our pre-recorded broadcast, and I also told Big Dave, that you would have never thought that Stacey wasn't from Chicago. The way he talked, you would have thought he was here his whole life.
His whole life, right? Like,
Chicago.
Rooted here.
Absolutely.
No, he made himself
The
rooted
fact
here.
that he said he from Oklahoma, Lawton, Oklahoma. Like, hold on, what? Like, I would have thought you were literally from the south side of Chicago. And it's crazy, but that's just so much love and respect he gets. And then we talked about some of our favorite things about Stacey that we thought that you know, were great things. And then I forgot something when we were talking to Big Dave in the other pre-recorded broadcast, was something that I won't forget, that Stacey is the real one, because he knew that a lot of people, unfortunately, and I'm gonna call them out, CHSN, CSHN is Chicago Sports Network, and they want you to pay a subscription for, you know, using their packages. They cover the White Sox, they cover the Bulls, they cover the Blackhawks. And so I think the package is like $30 a month or something crazy like that.
It's like 20 a month, 30 a month, 40 a month.
Something insane to watch the games. So Stacey understood the assignment. For Derrick Rose's retirement jersey night, Stacey King went live on his Instagram just so people can watch the Derrick Rose ceremony. And I commented in the chat, and I'm like, Stacey, thank you.
Look at that.
Most people
Look
who are true Chicagoans who love Derrick Rose would not been able to see this without,
because he understood what that was, the significance.
And he does the significance. He understand. And you can go back and watch the video. It's on his Instagram about how he understood the importance of the assignment. He even talked about, you know, I did this for y'all, Chicago. You know, I know a lot of y'all can't afford to watch CSSN, or, you know, it's not accessible or things of that nature. He never talked bad about his job and, you know, the people that sponsored his job or anything like that. But he just knew the assignment that, you know, a lot of people won't be able to watch this. So I'm grateful that I was able to be here in the building and be able to go live just so people can watch the retirement ceremony. That's how I was able to watch the retirement ceremony. And so I just thought that Stacey was a real one just for doing something so simple-minded as that, to be able to put out, honestly, my second retirement jersey ceremony scene of a Chicago legend. The first one I ever saw was Scottie Pippen. I didn't get to see Mike because that came out in 93. Well, yeah, late 93, 94. And of course, I was like maybe a couple months old at the time. So I wasn't able to see that one, but I was able to see Scottie Pippen's, and then to be able to see Derrick Rose's because of Stacey King. It's just like DJ Turbine said, he was a real one. He understood the assignment. He didn't hold any punches. He let everybody know how much he cared about the city, how much he cared about the fans, how much he cared about the organization. And it's just something that you won't be able to replace. And thank God for Stacey King. And I send my deepest condolences and, you know, well wishes to his family, because of the fact is this is a tough loss. But Stacey King is one of the greatest Chicagoans that I've ever met. And I've talked to him in person before, and one of the nicest people you will ever meet in life. And it's so sad that he's gone, but we had to give him his flowers where flowers were due, because, not only what he was the voice of the Bulls, the voice of Chicago, but he was the voice for us younger generation trying to get into the business to do what he does. And I'm grateful to have met Stacey King. I'm honored to have talked to Stacey King. And I'm just saying that I was able to be privileged to talk to him and hang out with him. And thank God for him. And God rest his soul. Rest in peace to Stacey King, a true, real one. Rest in peace, King. You will be truly, truly missed in this city, in this business, in this world, because they don't make people like you anymore.
No, real talk, real talk. He is definitely a. Earlier when I started the show, I was kind of getting choked up in my own words or stumbled on them because I was sitting there trying to figure out, like, man, what is he a Bulls legend? Is he? What do you categorize him as?
He's a Bulls legend. He won 3 chips.
I went farther than that, bro.
He's an NBA legend, but he's definitely a Bulls legend.
I don't care. He went from Oklahoma.
I'm sorry,
he's a Chicago legend, bro.
Hang on, I apologize. I got to make a correction. I'm sorry, Barbara Jean. I meant to say Spencer Jr., not Senior. I apologize. Spencer Senior is still with us. The services for Spencer Leak Jr. are at the House of Hope tomorrow. And I apologize for messing up. Forgive me. I was talking too fast and messed that up. But yes, Spencer Leak Jr., his services are tomorrow.
Charge to his head, not his heart.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So back was saying here, simply what I was trying to do with Stacey was just I thought I was going to categorize him as a Chicago Bulls legend, but I think I'd feel a little disrespectful by doing that because he touched generations, and I can't pretend that he didn't. I really can't. I would feel definitely sacrilege if I did that because, as the playing career goes, it speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
But the broadcasting career touched so many others that didn't realize that, oh, he was a player.
Literally.
He was a player.
Literally. That's the crazy part.
And when you realize, you're like, what do you mean? This guy's a 3-time NBA champion. He played with Jordan.
Literally.
In the first three-peat. Like, what are you talking about? So it's one of those things where, that's where I know generationally he touched. He touched. And,
Absolutely.
People can sit there and reminisce on the game that he played, or there's going to be people that reminisce on the calls that he made on the game that he loved. And either way, he spoiled us.
He did.
He
really did.
He spoiled us. He spoiled us. And quite frankly, Bulls Nation, we should be fortunate.
We are truly grateful for him.
Let's go to the phones, bro.
Let's do it. Okay, well, I'm going to get Derek first. We got Derek on the line.
He's all Chicago. He's all Chicago. He's a Chicago Bull. Let me ask you guys, before Derrick Rose, man, there was a guy, I'm out of Chicago, man. In the Portland Trailblazers drafted this guy 10th, and he traded. His name was Ronnie Lester, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Ronnie Lester is one of the best point guards come out of Chicago.
Oh, no question.
Outside of Derrick Rose. He was before Derrick Rose, but he's one of the best.
Yeah, this was like 80s. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ronnie Lester. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And, and I'm out here in the south suburbs, and I'm running across one of Ronnie's family members and stuff, and they don't want to talk about it, But there's another sports program on BON, and when I bring Ronnie Lester's name up, they don't want to talk about Ronnie Lester's history, man. Out of Dunbar High School, man, he was great, man.
Oh, he was a baller.
Yeah, and that guy that coached at Iowa messed him up, trying to get to the Final Four, man.
Yeah.
But that's history, man. He was one of my favorite players ever come out of Chicago. Ever.
Let me ask you, Robert, Derek, before you get out of here. Can you share us your favorite Stacey King moment, whether it was on the court or on the mics?
Oh, on the mics, man. Pass the hot sauce, man.
There it is.
Everybody can relate to that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Pass the hot sauce, man. He doing this stuff with Derrick Rose, man. That was just so fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Derek, I appreciate that, man. Because quite frankly, it just put a smile on our faces, man, and that's what we need right now.
And you know what's so crazy about that? He literally started a hot sauce brand called Give Me the Hot Sauce. And on his podcast, if you watch this podcast with him and it wasn't Chuck Garfien, it was Mark Schanowski. Him and Mark Schanowski and Will Perdue would come onto the podcast from time to time. He literally would have a row of Give Me the Hot sauces like it was like, you know, the podcast Hot Ones and stuff with Sean Evans.
Oh,
He
I
would
don't
literally
know
have
about
different
that, bro. What
flavor
is
hot
that?
sauces. He would literally have different flavor hot sauces in front of him called Give Me the Hot Sauce with different labels on how spicy it was. And it was
He
just
should
like-
have. He
It
should have.
was so cool.
He
It
out
was
of
so
everybody,
cool.
he should have been on Hot Ones, bro.
He definitely should
Just so he
on
can
Hot
sit
Ones.
there and say, "Give me the hot sauce, Sean.
Sean Evans, you dropped the ball on that one. He should have been on Hot
Give
Ones.
me the hot sauce, Sean Evans."
He definitely should have. We calling you out, Sean. We calling you out.
All right, hey, let me give a welcome to one of our brethren.
Let's do it.
He's having trouble connecting in certain ways, but he found a way to find his way in here.
Mhm.
So, Uncle Day Day.
Unc, what up?
Yo, what's going on? What's up, fellas?
No, man, don't tell us. Say what's up to us. Say what's up to Chicago like you usually do. Who are you? Chicago's what?
Yo, it's your boy Uncle Daddy, Chicago Favorite Uncle in the building.
That's
Yes,
my
sir.
that's my
better
dog.
late than never. I don't know why the link wouldn't come through to me, but
That's my dog right there.
I'm
That's,
about to get
that's
it.
my
I'll be
dog.
here.
That's my dog. What's up, man? How you feeling, bro?
Man, shocked as everybody else was earlier in the week, man. Like, you know, when you hear that a figure that you can relate to is no longer with us, the first thought is doubt. Like, no, I can't believe this, because you know you can't believe everything you see on the internet. And then once you get notification that it's a real thing, it's like, man, no more Sriracha, no more too big, too strong, too fast, too good.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you realize what's not coming back, I saw him Titus. I was like, bro, we ain't getting beat. We got home safe.
Yeah.
You know that's the like, it's that little stuff. You know. Sorry, Uncle Daddy.
Yeah.
I stepped on you. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
No, but you're 100% right. It's the little things. And with us being in this sports space, and you hear somebody like that who had so much fun and made Bulls games, even when they were bad, made Bulls games worth watching. You know, and it's like, of course, the show must go on, but who really is gonna fill his shoes?
I have no idea. I don't think you can.
I don't think so either. It's just not gonna be the same now. It's not gonna be the same. So, yeah, I know y'all sent y'all condolences already, and I know as a program we have, but individually, you know, Stacey King, he is the reason why, or not the sole reason, but one of the reasons why I decided to get into this media space.
Yeah.
Him and Stuart Scott were like,
Stu Scott.
hey,
Yes,
if we
sir.
can do it and have so much fun with it and be an icon in the process, then how come I can't?
Absolutely.
I asked everybody. I have to ask you. It's hard at this time, but you got your favorite Stace moment? You know, he said a lot. It's hard to narrow it down, but you got something there that you know is kind of like pulling your heartstrings right now. You know, me and T just been talking about things, and every time we talk about something, it just pulls at the strings. You know,
It
which
really
is a little
does.
different because you're like, where were you when you heard that? You know.
Yeah, what is it? Oh Lord, man.
Oh Lord, I'm coming, Elizabeth.
Yeah, I'm coming, Elizabeth. Yeah.
Elizabeth, I'm coming, Elizabeth.
And you know what's crazy? That I had Adam Amin went on the score earlier this week, and I did try to reach out to him, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get him. But he talked about that, and especially that call with Josh Giddey last year, and he introduced a whole audience of people to Sanford the Son who've never heard that, oh Lord, I'm coming, Elizabeth thing. So it's just like he was able to connect generations, and literally nobody knew how. It's crazy. We know what it was being millennials, but the fact is that the younger, these Gen X's and Gen Z's and all that, didn't know what that meant, and then they found out what it meant. It just goes to show how powerful his voice really was.
Oh wait, is Uncle Daddy a millennial?
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am at the top of.
He at the beginning.
Oh, you made the cut. You made the cut.
He's literally.
Yeah, I barely made the cut. Like I am legit. I think my year is the first year of.
I'm sorry. I'm kind of trolling on Facebook over here. I'm sorry. I don't get it. Got love for you, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's one, and of course the too big, too strong, too fast, too good.
You know it.
And I know we all love BB.
Yeah.
Drive safe. I mean, there's so many others. Compton's in the house.
Compton's in the house. Okay, yeah.
There's 5 Javantes out there.
You know it.
I was telling him earlier, I was like, yo, how many times did he give and he knew it himself, a role player trying to give shine to the role players. How many times he gave a role player on the Bulls something? Like you right there saying, like, 5 Javantes out there. Yo, he wasn't starting. He was starting partial. But 5 Javantes is the definition of he was just trying to give a shine to him. And then Thaddeus Young, the offices of Sato and Thad. Again, those are role players. He's and then talk about Marco Bellinelli's spice and meatballs. He knew what he was doing for years. He knew that because I'm a role player and I'm gonna give the role players their due. And honestly, right there, just hearing it, talking about it, just verbalizing it, it really does kind of sink me a little bit, because it's like, man, that was a good dude. That was the definition of you did it right, man. Like, from pillar to post, like, you did it right, and this world was better with you in it. And I don't want to talk about it with you out of it,
Yeah, and it's one of those things as well that it's like. Remember, I don't know if y'all remember NBA Coast to Coast back on NBA TV, when they go around the country and go to different games and chap in locally. And they always went to Stacey and Adam or Stacey and Neil, because they knew that Stacey was always entertaining. And it was one of those things that made it going to coast so easy, because if Stacey's on the call, we're going to Chicago and seeing what he's talking about. And I remember one of the things that the Bulls were losing the game, but they made one of those runs. It was one of the early the first season when they got DeMar, Zach, and Vooch. And DeMar did a windmill dunk in order to come back from the game. And he's like, don't do it all like that. Flight 8, what's wrong with you? You ain't supposed to be doing all that. I want to fly higher. And it's just like, man, like the creativity. And then to talk to Chuck Swirsky, one of his good friends, earlier this weekend, I'm asked him, I'm like, where did all this stuff come from? He like, honestly, nobody really knew where it came from. Most of this stuff was on the fly. It was literally in the moment. And it's just one of those things where that's when you know you got somebody who was made and built for this. Because for you to think about all these things, Fight 8, Sriracha, getting hot sauce, and all the other things that he came up in the moment versus, something I rehearsed, it just goes to show how great of a legend he really was at his job.
You had a couple things in your mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, he one of my favorites also was the late for the massage but early for the facial when they got dumped on, and they call it first poster machine.
Where's my poster machine?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Gucci Mane, I think everybody just about had a nickname.
Yeah.
From Stacey King.
Any and everybody. I was sitting there telling T and Big Dave earlier about how I was laughing about when LiAngelo put that song out there, and then Lonzo hit 3 in the corner, and he was, I'm going to swerve in that corner. Whoa. I was like, yo, Stace, chill.
You're like, I like that song.
But it's funny. This is as funny as it can get right now. It was I don't know. We said we don't know where he pulled it out. Even Chuck Swirsky didn't know where he pulled it out. It was just so organic.
Yeah, it really was.
It's good, at the end of the day. Go ahead, man, with your thoughts.
That's what you would like to get from the commentator when you watching sports. Somebody with personality, somebody with a sense of humor, somebody that'll make the product entertaining enough where you'll want to watch it again, even if the actual game itself isn't good. You know, you still want to watch it. Still want to watch it.
Yeah, no, definitely. CHN Chicago should be giving him a lot of money right now.
Yeah.
Jeff Vukovic owed him a lot of money.
That's true. That's true. Whatever rating that CHN Chicago gets during bull season, that's on him. I'll tell you right now, because there shouldn't have been all those opportunities where we were definitely should have been bored, but they're looking at a guy in the stadium with the knockoff Jordan jersey, and it just don't look that good.
Oh my God, bro, that's my favorite moment for him and Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. I just love the fact that during the game, the girl he was with showed him the video. I'm like, yo, you getting clowned, and he was just like,
literally laughing about it. It was crazy.
He's a good sport. He was a good sport.
And then after that, he got endorsements, and they gave him an autographed jersey from Michael Jordan. So it's like it worked.
It worked.
It worked out. But it was so hilarious. It was so
worked. Why can't it work for me? It worked for him, but it didn't work. It never works for me. Like, but it was a great moment at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Oy.
You want to know my favorite things was last summer, he actually got to call a Chicago White Sox game. And he had so much fun. It was Bulls night at the Chicago White Sox game.
I gotta hear that. I really do.
Stacy and Adam were there.
I didn't know that.
Stacy and Adam were there doing play-by-play coverage for the normal Chicago White Sox play-by-play and color commentary. Steve Stone, and I apologize, I forgot the new guy's name. It used to be Jason Benetti, but he moved on, and now he's a national guy for the MLB. So it was him at the time, but I don't remember the new person's name. I apologize at the moment for not remembering. But Adam Amin and Stacey King were able to call a Chicago White Sox game. And when I tell you they had so much fun, there was no reason they should have been able to call a White Sox game. But I mean, Adam was well versed because he covers the NFL as well, and he covers a lot of Bears games for Fox. But the fact that Stacey King was there, who's an NBA guy, was talking about the Chicago White Sox and what they need to do, and was up on the box scores and batting averages and all of that nature. He did all his homework, and he was on point the whole time. But they had way too much. It was like they literally brought the Bulls coverage to the White Sox. And that's something I will never forget because they had so much fun doing it. And he talked about how so much fun he loved doing that White Sox game. And it's just something that if you haven't seen it, please Google search that and go back and listen to it. And it is hilarious.
Oy, I'm definitely gonna look into that, bro. I'm definitely.
It's definitely.
I had no idea.
Me neither.
Yeah, they brought him in to cover a game. It was
Me neither.
the Chicago Bulls night at the White Sox game, and so they called Adam in and they called Stacey in.
Y'all want to call a baseball game? They were like, you know what?
Y'all want to call a baseball game? Why not?
We're gonna figure this out.
Literally.
It's like them calling us three and saying, "Hey, y'all want to call this? We'll figure it out.
Right.
We'll figure it out.
Literally.
We'll get through. I promise you, we'll get through it.
And it was nothing but thoroughly entertaining.
Oh my God. Well, with that being said, we're gonna keep rolling with the program. Anybody want to say one last thoughts about Stacey? Or we cool, y'all?
I do got one more thing to say. Again, I'm gonna repeat myself. Rest in peace to Stacey King. Your soul and your presence will definitely be missed. God got in heaven got a great angel to watch above us. And I respect you and your craft and your hard work that you put in. And like you always said that, you know, this was a job, but at the same time, you always had fun with it. It was never felt like a job. And you showed up every day because you had so much fun. And so when you love doing what you want to do, how can it be work? So rest in peace, Stacey King. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. It was nice meeting you when I did meet you. And again, may God rest your soul and be there for your family during this difficult time.
Yeah, just man, condolences, prayers to his family. He will be sorely missed, man. Three-time champion with us here, stand out at Oklahoma. He definitely will be missed. Definitely will be.
Definitely.
Bull games won't be the same.
I'll just say on my part, as I just want to say thank you, man. Stace, thank you for everything you've done. in your playing career, during your broadcasting career, you touched a lot of souls. Like I really don't think you maybe don't understand that, but maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Who knows, man? But you touched a lot of people, generations. Like I said, you was a player, and you would have fans as a player through your collegiate career, through your professional career, and then when you went to the mics, it just resonated because. Man, I'm a guy who can go back to the Derrick Rose, Kirk Heinrich, them days in 03, 02, and you were there and you made it entertaining. You made those iconic moments more iconic. And I thank you for your service. And I am honored to say that I got to listen to the call multiple times. I'm sad to see and just say that I will not get another opportunity. And I said this earlier, to quote Dr. Seuss, I'm not going to be sad because it's over. I'm going to smile because it happened.
Absolutely.
And Stacey King, may you rest in peace. And you are the embodiment of Chicago.
Yes.
You might be in there, if somebody from Oklahoma or wherever you came from, but
Lawton, Oklahoma.
This city right here, this town, this sports city loves you, embraced you, and you are a part of the fabric of Chicago sports, and you will be greatly missed.
Absolutely.
And thank you. I can't say it enough, but I will stop. But we appreciate everything you did, Stacey. We really do. And as Stacey would like, how about we talk about the NBA Finals?
Yes, got to.
Let's go to it, guys.
Let's do it.
All right, the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks. The Knicks looking really nice right now at a 3-1 advantage. I'm just gonna ask straightforward to the guys, and I'm gonna go to Uncle Diddy first because he's joining us on the phone. Hey, Unc, is this over? Is this finals over? Should we just crown the Knicks the champs at this point?
I mean, of course, you can't crown them until it's over, but I mean, it's just almost as over can get because you can't keep blowing double-digit leads and giving these guys more and more motivation, man. It's I'm speechless as far as to the game. Was it game 5 or game 4? I'm sorry.
Game 4.
I'm speechless for game 4. And that's how bad it was if I'm calling it the wrong game. Game 4, yeah, because you up 29, got the Knicks on their heels, but didn't put them away.
Which I still don't understand how.
I don't either, but I do at the same time. 9 straight possessions, taking 3-pointers and missing. At what point do we stop shooting?
I want to ask when should Wemby, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm gonna just throw this out there.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like when Wemby's been playing his last couple games, he changes positions during the half.
Yeah,
he'll be a big for the first half, and then the second half, he wants to play like he's a guard.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because he's small and maybe, banging bodies with other bigs is trying to hurt him. But again, it's only his second year in the NBA. So he could still need to put more weight, more muscle, more mass on that frame. But at the end of the day, you look at Wemby, he might be 7'5", but he ain't no Jokic. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't nobody demanding and commanding the paint.
Agreed.
So I think Jokic has a command of the paint. Wemby can get there. And I told you, T, during the week, I was like, bro, why is he not, like, he can get, this is, okay, I'm going to say this right. If you have a center, 7'5", and then not including the wingspan, I want to ask you, how easy can it be to get that inbounds pass? And I think it's very easy simply because do you know where you can put it where nobody else can get it? So it should be relatively easy to, establish yourself in the paint, get where you need to be. Don't cause a foul. Don't cause no three. And what I'm saying, don't go too long in the paint. But get down there where you need to be, establish your footing, and then call for it. And when you call for it, don't call for it where they can get it. Call for it where only you can get it. You are scientifically and genetically built to get it anywhere where nobody can get it. So if you can't register that in your head as an advantage, what are we doing here? You don't have to be the big body. You don't have to demand it, but you can get that entry pass, because that entry pass doesn't need to be at your ankles. Don't need to be at your numbers. Don't need to be at your hip. It can be way above in certain areas where nobody can get it. And I don't think nobody's realizing that yet. Because this guy, like I said, his scientific range, you can actually inbound it to spots where nobody else but him can get it. If you don't see that yet, you're missing something. And right now, it seems like they're putting a great wall in front of the paint and he can't get there. No, you can still get in there with the lack of muscle and the lack of, girth that you're like, pause, but you're not missing to get in there. But I'm just saying that you're right now, Wemby, you are the quintessential big of this generation. You are the Shaquille O'Neal of your generation. You are the unicorn. So figure out where you match up and figure out where the mismatches are. I'm just got on the mic and I'm sitting there saying, like, why are we having problems getting inbounds? No matter what happens, hey, you can always get down there, get the ball where you need it. I can get it to you if I have a guard that can get it to you and knows and recognizes the spots to get it to you. And then why are we settling for threes? Get down there, turn around, give me just a turnaround J, turnaround hook. You're 7'5". When you jump, you're probably about 8 feet. Who's getting up there? You know what I'm saying? So if you got to go into the isolated gym by yourself, turn around and figure out your own isolated J's, it seems like you're giving up easy shots for other shots. And part of me thinks that is Tim Duncan not sitting here talking to him? Is somebody not sitting there giving the fundamentals how to be a big, and Mr. Fundamentals is actually in his pocket? So I don't know. I think that at the end of the day, New York might actually get this, but this will not be ultimately the last time the Spurs are in the finals for the next couple years to come. This just might be one of those hard lessons they might have to learn. Gentlemen.
No, I concur with you 110%. I think that this is one of those lessons that they have to hard to learn, because the fact is that you were up in 3 of the 4 games. In game 1, you were up 12. In game 2, you were up 14. In game 3, you were up 29. And you literally let your foot off the gas and you beat yourself. So really, realistically, I understand that you're a young team. I think that the average age of the team is 23 and a half years old, going on 24 or something like that. So I understand that this is a very, very young team when it comes to the San Antonio Spurs. But also, at the same time, I don't know how many people watch the Kevin Garnett podcast, but it is definitely a watch that you should watch. He worked out with Wemby this offseason after Wemby went to go train with the Shaolin monks and do other things in the offseason. And Kevin Garnett told him what type of ferocity and, maturity that he had to have. And if you watch Kevin Garnett's last podcast, he talked about how Wemby was crying during the Western Conference Finals. And he's like, hey, job's not finished. You still got 4 more to go. Why are you crying? Why are you happy? Why are you celebrating? Job's not done. And so with his finals performance, yes, he did have one good game, and that's one of the games that they won when he had 32 points. But other than that, Wemby has changed his game completely in the NBA Finals. And so now it's not looking like Wemby of the season. It's looking like Wemby's trying to do too much. And it's one of those things where you have to be better because of the fact is that you can be better. You're playing the strength of what the defense gives you. Instead of taking advantage of your game, you're playing what the defense plays. And so if they're going to bait you into taking jump shots and all these threes, if they're going to bait you into taking, full court jumpers, if they're going to bait you into taking you into not playing your game, which is inside out, then you're not going to be able to win games. That's just plain and simple. And then if you're not going to be able to do what you need to do, I know the rest of the team is going to be out of sync because they're not going to do what they need to do. And again, The last game when they were up 29, they let the gas off the pedal. And I'm not even gonna lie, I stopped watching that game because I'm like, oh, they up 30 plus, it's over with. I'm not even gonna keep watching this. I'm gonna go to bed. I gotta be at work early in the morning, so it is what it is. And when I wake up and I see that they lost, I'm like, how is that possible?
I watched it, bro. I saw how it was possible.
When I saw you took that many threes in the third and fourth quarter, I'm like, you deserve to lose. You literally deserve to lose because why would you not take advantage of the scoring the lead that you had? But that's also on coaching. And I keep forgetting that, the head coach of the Spurs is a Popovich guy, but at the same time, he is a young head coach. This is his second year coaching in the NBA. So it's one of those things where the whole team is green. They haven't been here before. But yes, they will get here in the future. Yes, Wemby is too dominant of a player to not be able to get here again to the NBA Finals. But to me, to answer the question, I personally think that this Finals is over. I think that New York will go into San Antonio and win his next game, and we're done.
Uncle Dede, the basketball coach.
As much as it pains me to say this.
Oh, we starting that way. I know what that means. Shout out to Ryan James.
I can't bring myself to say that the Knicks are going to win the NBA championship. It just don't sound right saying it.
It doesn't.
Is that the Chicago one that you speaking, or is that the analytics?
It absolutely is the Chicago one me to speaking because to say that the Knicks will win the NBA, it's still like even trying to say it to myself.
Blasphemy.
To convince myself. Yeah. It's like yikes. But nonetheless, San Antonio has given New York every which way to win this series, to win the championship. The Spurs have just, like you said, blown multiple double-digit leads, including the largest comeback in NBA Finals history. Congratulations, Spurs, on that one. But it's a lot of things that tie into that. And we knew coming into it that the Spurs were young, so it's a lot of the young mistakes from the top to the bottom, including coaches, that you would anticipate. But they still, at the same time, are professionals. And you have to figure out how to win. You have to learn how to win. LeBron had that issue throughout his career where he had to learn how to win. And that's where the Spurs are. That's where Wemby is, where we saw Wemby turn the ball over in what was the game one, and then pick up a foul and put Brunson on the line and then miss the shot that would have gave the Spurs the win. We seen him shrink, like as Turbine alluded to, shooting a bunch of three-pointers, getting away from control of the paint. And then the adjustments. When do we stop shooting so many three-pointers? When do we tell the guys, hey, let's try to get paint touches. We up 29. Let's try to get paint touches, make them guard us and send us to the free throw line. And De'Aaron Fox, one of my favorite young players.
Oh, what do you got to say about that last play?
You up one. You up one with 11 seconds.
The shot clock is off.
Defensive rebound. Shot clock is off.
It's off, man. Just don't shoot. Just hold it. Hold it.
You don't have to shoot the ball. They have to come defend you, bro. They have to come and defend you.
So do you blame that on Fox or coaching, bro?
That's how De'Aaron Fox.
Okay. I wanted to ask the coach this question all week, so he said it. Okay. Go ahead, Unc. I'm sorry. I stepped on you.
Yeah, that's how De'Aaron Fox. And it appears to be some type of pattern with De'Aaron Fox as well, because Mike Brown had issues in Sacramento with De'Aaron Fox and making bad plays down the stretch. So it's showing that he might not have the clutch gene necessary to perform well in big games and big spots.
Or the IQ.
But he's a very talented player, talented player.
You know what's funny, fellas? When that play happened, all I kept thinking was, this wouldn't have happened if Chris Paul was there.
See, I was thinking that, but
I was 1 year too late.
I want to be that guy.
But I was like, yo, if Chris was on there, he would have just mentally known every little athlete. Nope. And it's obviously means nothing now, but it was just something that I just quickly, knee jerk. I was like, I don't think Chris would have done that. That's just me. Yeah, just me. Let's go to the phone calls real quick. We got a couple here. Let's go to Brian. Brian, thank you for coming on Fundamentals. What you got for when it comes to these finals?
Hey, good show, man. But I want to hit you guys with two quick doses of reality when it comes to Wendy. And then I want to mention one thing about last year's final. The problem with Wendy, he's good for a period and a half because he's 7'4" and tall. But what NBA found out, what's exposing him is this his series is he only weighs 3 pounds.
Yeah.
But Big Cat, and I be noticing him put a body on him by the third quarter, he's gassed and he's like a big two guard because he don't have a frame to wrestle down low.
Mm-hmm.
That dude better eat and lift some weights because he's too skinny. He can't last a whole game because now power forwards, they go bang him now. You know, you're not in France no more. And I noticed he don't have the body strength to go down. That's why they really losing them games because he's a two guard now. He's lobbing up threes, and if you notice by the third quarter, he barely can run up and down the court because he's tired. He don't have a physical body. He's not like a Chamberlain who can wrestle down low. What he does for a quarter and a half, he can block shots. He willing to throw the ball off the backcourt, but once a center lay a body on him, he out of there in the third quarter. He's a two guard now. And let me ask you guys a question about last year, then I hang up and listen. If Tyrese Halliburton don't hurt his leg, would you say they world champions?
Oh, absolutely.
Now that was a better 1-1-0. That was actually a better example of a player putting his team on the back and saying, let's go. That's not what Wendy can do today. He don't have that kind of body for that. I say they beat Oklahoma if his leg don't go out. But thanks for hearing me.
No, Brian, I definitely agree with you. I think that Indiana would have won that game if Tyrese Halliburton didn't get hurt. I mean, Boston got a great team, and I'm not taking away from the NBA Finals win, but I was leaning towards Indiana to win that series anyway. So I think that if he didn't get hurt, they would have definitely won it.
I just want to say, me and Brian pretty much said the same thing when it came to the, Wemby got to get bigger.
Absolutely.
He just that first half he got the engine going. He had a little engine that could, but that little engine that could keeps getting beat up. About third and fourth quarter, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna come back next game, and I'm gonna do it again in the first half, and then take a break in the second half.
Yeah.
And it just Wemby. I mean, honestly, you gotta work on that body. It's only year 2. You did put some growth. It's year 2.
No, it's year 3.
Oh, year 2 or year 3?
You said year 2 or year 3?
No, this year 3
for Wemby.
This year 3 for Wemby.
This year 3.
Year 3?
Yep. That's how time flying.
I'm not that old. I'm not that old.
Majority of 1 year. He missed the majority of his second year because of injury. Due to injury. Yeah, like a blood clot or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you are in line. 2023. Here it is. Well, Uncle Daddy, DJ Turban was wrong, and I will just put that.
I know.
What's wrong?
You're wrong most of the time on your rents.
It's all right.
Yeah. One thing I'm not wrong about is Angel, but let's move on.
Oh, Lord.
Let's keep going. We got another caller. Marguerite, welcome to the Fundamentals. What you got to say about the finals?
Oh, thank you for taking my call, and you all have had a great show.
Thank you.
And an honorable tribute. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I haven't watched basketball like this since the Bulls, Michael Jordan era.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and Stacey was definitely a part of that.
Yes.
Okay, now, game 4,
Mm-hmm.
this past,
Very last one.
Thank you. Maybe what you're saying is the coach of the Spurs should play Wembley first quarter and then again a little bit second and then bring it back in third or towards the end of third.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking at it historically. When have two black coaches in the NBA played against each other in the final? Has that happened before?
Hasn't it? Uncle Dan, you're the historian on the show.
History. Like I said, I haven't been watching since the Jordan days. So if it
Been
has,
a while since it has happened, but it has happened before.
it has. Okay, so then that's not history then being made. Okay, but it's still historical because it hasn't happened that often.
Exactly.
Two. To me, I never saw as much. I have never seen as much pushing, shoving, throwing to the floor as I've seen here lately. When did that happen? I mean, at one point, was that allowed and I just didn't notice it, or this is something new that's allowed for?
No, it's not. It's not allowed, but sometimes the referees just let them go. That's what they call it. Let them go.
Okay, well, it's been too much of it. Too much of it. And too much of it to me from the Spurs to the Knicks.
Really?
I haven't seen the Knicks being physical like that. Like I said, I haven't been watching since the Jordan days, so maybe this has been going on. I just been noticing until now because I'm just not watching again. That's unnecessary. Just play the game. Your hands should be on the ball and towards the net, not each other. I understand putting your hands out to the side to keep folks back, but just literally elbowing and hitting and all that, unnecessary.
Okay.
Okay. I watched the game from beginning to end. I was doing a lot first and second quarter because I have a lot of chores to do. And then when I saw the score, I said, Marjorie, it happens every time you don't watch your babies. When you don't watch your children, you know how they act. They have to be watched. They have to be attended to. You know, I'm a classroom teacher. They act up. They know, kids know, even in the household. They know when you're not paying attention to them. When you're on the phone, they do things that they wouldn't do if you're not on the phone. You know, you got to keep your eyes on them. You have to be attentive to them.
Okay.
Watch your kids. And so then I saw the group Wu-Tang game. Wu-Tang Clan game.
Yeah.
Thank you. Performing. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but I saw them performing. And I think it was one of the WVON hosts. Was it Sister Cleopatra Drippin the next morning? Or someone that said the game changed, the mood in the stadium changed after that group performed during halftime.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, thank you. And I don't know, I couldn't hear, like I said, I couldn't hear what they were saying, but I don't know what happened, but something happened to the Knicks. When they came back third quarter,
They got a shot of adrenaline.
yes, and then the camera showed both coaches speaking to both teams. The Knicks coach speaking his, the Spurs coach speaking of theirs in their locker rooms. They showed them, they just didn't let us hear what they were saying. And you know how in the NFL they cover their mouths so we can't see? They didn't do that. The camera showed those men speaking to their team. When they came back on the floor, it was different. I saw the score, and I'm like, this is what you get for not sitting and watching them. You're going to have to sit down and watch, and that's what I started doing. And I started playing. 'Cause I'm sorry, maybe I'm an anomaly, but I'm for the Knicks.
Hey, no, I mean, as of right now, it seems like that's where it's going, Marjorie.
And they started winning, and then I started doing the math. Okay, each shot is 2 points. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. If you just shoot 10 times, then you can bring this up 20 points.
It's exactly the mentality they have.
Then it got to be 17 points behind. Then it got to be 10 points behind. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8. Just come on now. If you just shoot 5 times at 2 points each, there's your 10 right there. You can get it. You can do this. And then, there were 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That's when I knew. I see we had it. The Knicks had it. And then I forgot about 3 points. A 3-point for a reason because you get 3 points.
Right.
And so then they started doing that. See, the Knicks had all those opportunities the first and second half. It wasn't like they didn't have the ball. They were just missing shots.
Yeah.
Missing 3-pointers, going to the net, even missing free throws. I'm like, come on. The Knicks, the Spurs were always making all this. Every time they had the ball, whenever they threw it, it went where it was supposed to go. For some reason, we didn't do, but we came back third and fourth quarter. Our balls went where they were supposed to.
So, Marjorie, do you believe that the Knicks are going to win it all now?
I hope so. I'm not sure if they're going to win. When do we play again? Saturday?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this next game that we have will win it. I'm hoping we win and it'll be over. But if we don't, that's just even more pressure going into the next game. But I hope we win. I hope Knicks win. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Marjorie, for that call. She didn't say nothing too. It was there.
Not really.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm saying at the end of the day, it makes sense because, quite frankly, I thought the same thing when I looked at the Knicks. I saw the second half. I'm watching the whole game. I'm like, if this gets below single digits, they're in trouble. The second in the fourth quarter, I was like, oh, it's done. They creep back up to 11 twice, I think. I was like, you're playing with people with false hope. False hope.
You left them in the room.
And then they just, nah. I was like, yo, how do you have this much of a lead? Let me ask the coach of this team. Can you justify that, bro? Like that collapse? Uncle Dede?
Nah.
He said, no, man, I ain't real talk. Ain't no way to say that. Like, yeah. So.
You're right.
I mean, it's ways to try to put it into perspective, you know, and say that like she said, Knicks was just missing shots in the first half. They started making shots after that. So it's ways to kind of put it into perspective, but you can't be playing for a championship and not put teams away. And I can remember when the Bulls played the Jazz the second time, they were up like 30 points in the first half. And I'm like, yeah, Michael Scott is not going to play a lot. They were up 50 by the time they were subbed out for the rest of the game. And when you got a team down like that, you have to put them away. You can't give them like Marjorie said, that's exactly how the conversation was at halftime, exactly what the conversation was in the huddles. Each huddle, hey, just keep chipping away. And if we can get this down into single digits with 3 minutes left in this game, we have an opportunity to win.
Why not?
And that's exactly what they did. Put themselves in a position to win, and the Spurs look like the younger team. Cam Penny kept shooting 3-pointers and missing. When you look at OG's putback, Dylan Harper didn't block out anybody. He stood there and ball watched, relying on his athleticism. Wembanyama shrunk. And like I said, even with coaching, from a coaching standpoint, where you don't say, hey, guys, let's make this adjustment and make this a focus to stop shooting 3-pointers.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you just can see the youth all the way around from the coaching staff to the actual best players. So and y'all know I picked the Spurs in October.
Yeah, you did. Definitely you did.
I give you that.
I'm with you. I was with you right there, bro.
You said Wemby was going to be the MVP, so I give you that, man.
Man, I got a defensive player of the year, so I was like half right.
Yeah, you were half right. You were halfway there.
I was somewhere.
I picked the Spurs in October, and they've been in every position to be dominating this series right now. Well, we should be talking about it on the flip side with the Spurs being up 3-1, going back home ready to close this thing out. But the way the cookie crumbled, the way the ball bounced, is you hear. We down, further down 3-1 now. And I mean, hindsight, you can call out so many different things, so many things they could have done. They could have done differently in each game that they lost. And me and my brother, we went back and forth about this since the game. And Eddie was hell bent on the Spurs should have put Luke Cornett on the court as well as Wembanyama. And he referred to when Pop subbed Tim Duncan out and Chris Bosh got the offensive rebound and Ray Allen knocked down another LeBron favorite shot. I told my brother,
he adamant about it?
He was super adamant about it. I'm like, you're insane, because if I'm coaching the Knicks and I see Luke Cornett walk on the court, I'm putting him right into the screen action, and I'm attacking him with Jalen Brunson and making him guard. And I mean, I get the call process. You do want to have a 7-footer down there to try to help rebound if you know you run into it in basketball, which is what happened. And Jalen, in the way the timing worked, as soon as De'Aaron Fox ran the double team, Jalen Brunson shot it. Nobody blocked out OG, and I believe OG was the inbounder.
Yeah.
And so he came from the wing, and I think we learned from Robert Horry multiple times that he broke the Sacramento Kings' heart, that the most important player is the person inbounding the ball.
Oh, you hurting people's feelings right here, bro.
Yeah, the
No
most
lies being
important
told, though.
player is the person inbound the ball.
No lies are being told. Sidney Brown said that.
Sydney been active in the chat. What's up, Sydney? What you got here? Sydney Brown saying that these NBA finals have been entertaining to say the least. The Knicks clearly have outplayed the Spurs 3 out of the 4 games. Outside of Dylan Harper, the Spurs bench has been a no-show. On the Knicks game-winning bucket, legendary broadcaster and former coach Hubie Brown says that the inbounds passer is the most dangerous player in later situations. Spurs failed big time.
I agree.
Sure did. They sure did. And to answer Marjorie's question about when did the game become so physical, I can tell you exactly when it became physical.
Tell us.
And the NCAA tournament, this past NCAA tournament, those games were way more physical than any NBA basketball we have seen in years. And the NBA can't be sold up by college because at that point, college becomes a better product. And you like to see the physicality of the game there where you don't want so much of the ticky-tack calls to be made. And I don't think they anticipated it getting to the point that it has with the pushing and shoving. And she did say that the Spurs are doing more of the pushing. Nah, watch how they grab Wemby on everything. Like, Jose Alvarado tried to take him out. Like,
a few times.
Tried to take him out. So, yeah, it's been the grabbing, pushing, and shoving. It's been going back and forth, and Wembanyama gets the most of it.
All right, guys, let me ask the definitive question of this, and we can wrap it up here. Is it over? The Knicks winning?
It's over.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
I agree.
So LeBron James is going to be the only guy in finals history to come back from 3-1 deficit.
I agree.
Why you gotta do that, bro? Why you gotta put that on me? I walked home. I could have gone home tonight. I could have gone home tonight. Been fine with that. Now you gotta act like Ryan James is here.
Nah, I ain't trying to act like Ryan is there. You know, it's just that LeBron is.
Shout out to Ryan. Big love, bro. But go ahead, Unc.
Yeah, look. Nobody else is gonna have a 3-1 comeback.
Yeah,
because of what it means. It's because of what it means.
So it's gonna be the gentleman's sweep of 5-1 or 4-1, or are they getting tomorrow?
Yeah. So this is how this is gonna work out. The Spurs hold the Knicks out in A5 tomorrow. They're going to be able to withstand the lead. They're gonna blow them out, and the Knicks gonna win it in Madison Square Garden again.
I just hope they don't. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. At the end of the day, I really didn't have anything against New York. I don't. I really don't. I like the players. I like the coaches. I really like. It's all good, and it's been narratively, sports-wise. I like the Knicks, and I would love them to win a championship because of the longevity of where they've been at. And it seems like they're gonna win one. But I'm just being honest, guys. New York doesn't deserve it.
They don't.
The organization different. The fan base, kick rocks. You guys are throwing rocks eggs at Wemby. You guys are jumping people with Spurs jerseys on. Like, I'm sorry, isn't New York the city with a Statue of Liberty that has the inscription of "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled message"? I can recite the whole thing. But I'm saying is New York's supposed to be a city of welcoming. You guys are jumping people. You guys are up 3-1. You were up 2-0. You lost one game, and then you're 2-1, and then you're assaulting San Antonio Spurs fans just because they're rocking the jersey? And it's not one game. It's not, not one video, 2 videos. It's a lot of videos of you guys just
throwing things at them all type of crazy.
Yeah, just finding one guy with a jersey, and it's 10-1, 11-1, 20-1. It's all New Yorkers versus, and New York, if you don't feel pride for that, shame on you. Real talk. If you don't listen to me, like, what is New York? This is New York. You don't come in New York. No. Act like you got some sense. You want to win a championship? Act like you've been there before. I know you haven't in a long time, but please act like you have been there before. Have some conform. Have some actual class.
I can't disagree with you.
Like, real talk. At the end of the day, You didn't see us whooping on no Colts fans in Miami when we lost the Super Bowl back in 06. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's childish. It's so stupid. And the fact of the matter is, you sway the narrative where I promise you, I sincerely promise you, New York, if you did not do none of that, jumping on fans in the streets, throwing eggs at Wemby on his way to the hotel, the country probably would have been on your back. The country would have been on your side sitting there saying, hey, it's been a long time since New York's won nothing. So let's go ahead. The Knicks haven't won a final since what? The 70s?
Yeah.
The country would have rallied behind you. But you showed your colors, and now we don't like you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We look at y'all and say, y'all deserve it. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, and company, y'all deserve it. But the city of New York, kick rocks. That's just me. I know y'all gonna win, but kick rocks.
I mean, you pretty much summed it up.
Sorry. I mean, that's just me. I'm sorry, guys. I went on my soapbox there. It really did bother me. It really did bother me, but it is what it is.
You're right. They fans gotta learn how to, win gracefully. But just think, last season it was the Pacers. This season it's the Knicks. As a 1990s Bulls fan, I cannot believe the Knicks and the Pacers. Yikes.
2 years in a row, right? It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hey, look, real quick. Hey, somebody got hope in this convo. Brother Wall, Spurs in 7. I hope you're right, Brother Wall. I really hope you're right. I promise you on everything that I love. I really, really hope you're right.
Same.
T, wrap us up real quick.
Okay, you have been listening to The Fundamentals. We greatly appreciate you coming in. If you don't know, we talked the first hour dedication tribute to Stacey King, former play-by-play analyst for the Chicago Bulls. A color commentator that's the technical term for basically he was the entertainment for the games and the player analysis. He also played and won 3 NBA championships with the Chicago Bulls back in the early 1990s. The next hour, we wrapped up with the NBA Finals, and so we got Uncle Daddy on the line with us, joining us as well. Any final thoughts?
Man, go ahead.
Okay. Stacey, we appreciate you. You will be immortalized in Chicago sports history. So we do appreciate the time that you gave us to laugh, the entertainment, the joy. We definitely appreciate it. Spurs, y'all got some work to do. If Brother Wall is gonna be correct, San Antonio, y'all got to figure out how to win 3 games in a row, which is doable. It's definitely doable. I don't see it happening, but it's doable. I've been wrong before. And last but not least, 25-9, 17-17, 18-17. Those are Angel Reese's last 3 games. Turbine, put some respect on her name.
I knew it's coming.
Why would I respect her when they're winning in spite of her?
17-17, 18-17, 25-9.
They would have won without their uncle, did they? Don't act like they wouldn't have.
I'm just saying that helps. That helps a whole lot.
I don't know, man. It wasn't helping us last year.
Yes, the sky not winning this year either. The sky's falling.
Yeah, I know. It's been falling for 3 years, bro. But, it's not like Angel helped us at all. And it's not like she's helping the dream at all. They're fulfilling dreams without her. Trust me.
Oh, no. She's part of that dream.
No. She's something else. I can't say what I want to say she is in this world because there's about 87 other guys that had that same dream. But
when she was here, she was a river in the sky, though.
Skies and dreams. That's going to be the narrative of her autobiography when it's all said and done.
That's fine. She can copyright that like she did me back.
Hey, she can. She thinks she's smart, but at the end of the day, she's still crying somewhere.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, right to the bank that she on one of the best teams in the league, and they got a chance to win. So Turbine.
You still want to do this with me, bro?
No, I'm just gonna throw this out here.
Go ahead.
If by the luck of the basketball guys, the Atlanta Dream win the WNBA championship.
Oh my gosh.
I am going to bring an Angel Reese shirt into the studio, and you have to wear it for the entire show.
If that happens, I agree. It's not going to, but I agree.
We'll see.
I agree to that. I will agree to that.
Okay, let's put this in motion. It is June 12th. Okay, can't wait to see y'all in 2 months.
One last quick thing before we get out of here. Brother Wall ran through it like a fire over here, but he in line. Quick scoreboard, and we're going to get out of here. For baseball right now, the Chicago White Sox, congratulations, took down the reigning world champions, the Dodgers, 8-2.
Let's do
It's
it.
a great win for them. And on top of that, spanking and handling the Atlanta Braves, which are the hottest team right now in baseball. I know the last game got postponed because, thank you, Mother Nature. But we'll see the Braves back in August and the 20th. But we still got to go to Atlanta, so we'll see what happens there. I think the Cubs are still in action, but they're doing some good work right now. 5-0 against the Giants in San Francisco. They got a late baseball, so the game could be wrapping up right now. I think they're probably in like the 8th or 9th right now. So keep on going, Northsiders. We do have the World Cup, guys. The World Cup's going on.
Yes.
The United States, congratulations. USA wins today against Paraguay, which they want to bring that Spanish out of me, and 4-1 in the group phases. So for those who don't know, they just in group phases, you got to play everybody in your group. There's 4 teams in the group. So for the USA, they got just played Paraguay. They got 2 more teams in that group that they have to play. So once those 2 games are done and the final scores are tallied, we'll figure out who goes in. Every group has 2 teams that advance into the brackets. So the goal is you win a game, you get 3 points to your total score in that group phase. You tie, you get 1 point. You lose, well, guess what? Losers don't get anything. So we'll see what happens when it comes to that. United States just did a great thing for themselves in the group phase. They won. They didn't tie. So that's 3 points to their score, and that puts them at least first place in the group phase and allows them a great chance to go into the actual tournament side when it comes to the brackets and knockout rounds. So, and then the other one, and this is just me, Mexico won yesterday. Mexico did the same thing, 2-0 against South Africa, and they're in the same boat as the United States right now. 3 to their total score. South Korea in their group actually won their game, so both South Korea and Mexico are 3-3, while the other 2 teams in that group are 0-0. Good start. Great start for Mexico. We'll see where the rest of the group goes for the United States, but it's a great start right now, and at the end of the day, North America is the host nation. It's not a country, it's a nation. So between United States, Canada, and Mexico, they're the hosts. All 3 of those countries are the host countries, and we'll see what happens. You're probably going to get more attendance in Mexico and Canada than you will get in the United States. Don't be surprised if we see United States games pretty empty in those stands. But
yeah,
the World Cup's here, guys. The World Cup is here. We'll see what happens. Brother Walt, thank you for that. And that is going to be your scoreboard update right now when it comes to our scores that really matter to the teams and the teams that we're trying to follow here and at least report on. So, gentlemen, I think it's time to wrap it up for this evening.
There it is.
So, let's roll call. Uncle Dede, who are you? I ain't said it, but
yeah, it's your boy Uncle Dede, Chicago's favorite uncle.
Sorry, I was driving to the music. Yo, it's your boy Titus T. Dell Williams in the building.
And my name is DJ Turbine or Turo Garza. And
White Sox signed first place.
Go Sox, baby!
Good on. Hey, good on. I'm proud of them. I'm really proud of them. From what they were to what they are, that is called growth.
It's a perfect song to actually play.
Take notes.
Baby, you can do it. Take your time.
Take
do it
notes.
right, and they get it right.
Take notes, guys. That is a great. That's
notes.
something you gotta watch, guys. And shout out to Brandon Montgomery. That was a heck of a walk off in the debut. That's what dreams are made of, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Roll for the dirt. Yes, you got it.
Until next week, I'm DJ Turbine.
I am Titus T. Dell Williams.
And it's your boy over there, Chicago's favorite uncle.
And y'all know how we do it. 3, 2, 1. Hey.